Good afternoon and welcome to Cougars Field, where the College of the Canyons Cougars open a 3-game series with West Los Angeles College. Hi everybody, I'm Matt Frieda here with Matt Robinson, and welcome to the Cougars pregame show. Well, the Cougars coming off a series versus Antelope Valley where they dropped the first two, were able to salvage the final game of that series. That happened on Sunday with a 13-6 win. Huge game from the offense. Came out with 4 runs in the second inning, thanks in large part to Mikey Kane as well as his brother Doyle Kane, who each had 3 hits in that game. Alex Ballesteros also homered, including a grand slam that scored Andy Ambrose, Steven Gonzalez, and Tafton Hensley. The team would go on to finish that series out with the victory of 13-6. And now the Cougars will welcome in the West Los Angeles Wildcats for a 3-game set. They'll play this first game here at home at Cougars Field, and then we'll travel to West Los Angeles for the second game before concluding the series here at home on Saturday. The Cougars looking to get their conference record improved here. They're 5-4 with a grand opportunity here against the West Los Angeles team that really has struggled in the pitching department. Take a look at this, a few of their more lopsided losses on the season. The Wildcats have been the victim of 12 or more losses of 12 or more on multiple occasions this year, including against Saddleback on February 17th. On March 8th, losing to Glendale 23-2, and most recently losing to Antelope Valley on March 17th by a score of 28-6. During that time, the team's run differential giving up 147 runs to their scored 22 runs during that time. And so the Cougars will open up with, it appears, we're trying to still figure out who our starting pitcher is this afternoon. We are looking for them working in the bullpen, and it appears that it's going to be Albert Prado this afternoon taking the ball and getting on the bump for the Cougars. And a really big opportunity, as we mentioned in the open, a conference series here against one of the flailing teams. Now, maybe the season didn't exactly get started off on the right foot for the Cougars, but at the end of the day, they are 5-4, and with an golden opportunity here to take all 3 games of this series, if not just take 2 out of 3 and get right back into conference play. So we're going to send it to break right now, and then we're going to come back and tell you a little bit more about who's been hot for the Cougars lately. Don't go anywhere. This is the pregame show for College of the Canyons Cougars baseball.
College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
And welcome back to the Cougars pregame show. College of the Canyons Cougars hosting West Los Angeles College here at Cougar Field. And as we mentioned, West Los Angeles College struggling so far this year, 5-18 on the season, including 2-7 in conference play. They come into this series coming off a sweep at the hands of Citrus College, and Los Angeles College has lost 7 of their last 9 games. We showed you that graphic before of some of their more lopsided losses this season. Their overall run differential this year, negative 135. They've given up 282 runs to their opponents as compared to their 147 runs scored. And we just want to talk a little more about some of those losses. They've given up 10 runs or more in 15 games, and they've given up 15 runs or more in 7 of them. And with that, let's go to who's hot for the Cougars. Coming off their series with Antelope Valley, Doyle Kane was in the center of it all. 9 for 16 throughout that series, including 3 doubles and 5 runs scored. The first baseman has been great in the middle of this lineup for the team, alongside his brother, of course. And the two of them have really powered this offense over the last couple days, and will look to do the same here against a very vulnerable pitching staff for West Los Angeles College. And before we bring you to the start and first pitch of this game, let's take a look at the Cougars' upcoming schedule. This 3-game series, as we mentioned, first game here today at Cougar Field versus West Los Angeles. They'll then go on the road and play them Thursday in West Los Angeles before concluding the series on Saturday here at Cougar Field. After that, the Cougars are going to welcome in the Glendale Vaqueros for a 3-game set. So 6 consecutive conference matchups for the Cougars. Then they're going to play in Glendale on Thursday 4-7, and then we'll conclude that series on Friday here at Cougar Field against the Vaqueros. So with that, that'll do it for the pregame show. First pitch coming up next right after that. This.
I love emergency medicine. You're there at these people's worst time of their life, and you're there to make it a little bit better.
The EMT program at COC is a 1-semester program. Over the course of it, the EMT students will learn the textbook knowledge they need, practical hands-on skills that they're going to need working out on an ambulance or in a hospital or whatever setting they decide to work.
People are constantly hiring. There's always a need for first responders. When I graduated from this program, I got a job within a month.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant management today.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now. Hi, everybody, and welcome back into Cougar Field as we get ready for baseball here on the Cougar Sports Network on this gorgeous Tuesday in Santa Clarita. Matt Robinson with Matt Frieda here with you as we get ready to go. We'll get you the starting lineups in this ball game here as West Los Angeles coming into the game today, 5-18 on the year, 0-12 at home. 5-6 though on the road, have played much better on the road this season, but just 2-7 in conference play. Looking to try and pick up a win against the Cougars, who have lost 2 of their last 3 games, but did pick up a win in the final game of the series against Antelope Valley College, as Matt had mentioned in the pregame show. For West Los Angeles, the starting lineup looks like this today. Noah Matsumoto will get the start behind the plate and lead things off. Then Nathan Nakaza, the DH, in the 2 spot. Jesus Sanchez, the shortstop, in the 3 spot. Kai Hersberger in the 4 spot. Then Danny Gill, the center fielder, in the 5 spot. Tristan Gallegos, the first baseman, batting 6th. Justin Baldwin, the right fielder, batting 7th. George Eves at third base in the 8 hole. And Isaiah Figueroa cleans things up in the 9 spot, playing second base for Brian Moses in his first season as the West LA Wildcats head coach. For the Cougars, they will send Albert Prado to the mound. I'm sorry, Roger Hill, the head coach, in his first season for the West LA Wildcats. As we were saying, on the mound for the Cougars, Albert Prado going to get the start. 2-1 on the season. 4.13 earned run average this year for College of the Canyons. In 32 and 2/3 innings pitched, has given up 36 hits, 21 runs, 15 earned, walked 15 and struck out 15. So 15's wild, really, for Prado, who at the beginning of the season did not look as though he would be a starter. Came in kind of early in the year, got some outings, and has really become a more reliable hand in the bullpen and so on for the Cougars this year, who have kind of struggled pitching-wise. The roster has not had very much success on the bump, but Prado will try and turn things around a bit here today for College of the Canyons as they take on West Los Angeles. As we are just about ready to get underway, Matsumoto will lead things off. Noah this year, 361 with 30 hits and 83 at-bats, a home run and 18 runs batted in, as he'll step in to face Prado, who works out of the stretch off the first base side of the rubber. As we are underway, first pitch whacked into right center field for a base hit by Matsumoto. Cut off by Camacho. Will try and make a strong throw, but Matsumoto in with a leadoff double on the first pitch of the ball game at 2:32 in the afternoon. We are underway, and West LA already with a runner in scoring position.
Designated hitter Nathan Nakaza.
So it'll bring in Nathan Nakaza, who's batting 302. The top of the lineup, the stronger portion of the lineup for West LA. Nakaza, Hershberger, all above 300. Gallegos and Baldwin both hitting above 300, but have been limited in their at-bats this year. So really, West LA, who, as we talked about, has struggled to score runs often, has given up a lot of runs early in ball games and been blown out of a few, trying to get on the board first here in the first inning.
Yeah, Matt, and crucial for the Cougars to try to strike early and often here. A couple games ago, West Los Angeles gave up 19 runs in the first inning to Citrus College, so definitely a team that's vulnerable here and here for the taking.
As Nakaza 302, 26 for 86 with 2 home runs and 14 runs batted in as he steps in to face Prado. And time at the plate called before the pitch came in, so we'll do it again. Pitch did not count. Leadoff runner aboard at second base.
And Matt, this game opened so quickly with that leadoff double, but I didn't have a chance to say Albert Prado with a great outing his last time out on Tuesday against Antelope Valley. 5 innings, 1 run on 4 hits, really gave his team an opportunity to win.
Certainly would like to do the same here today, but finds himself with some traffic on in the first. First pitch, Nakaza misses down. Temp at first pitch, 70 degrees. Sunny, a little bit windy today, 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts up to the 15-mile-an-hour gusts out of the northeast. It'll make it a little hard to get the ball in the air here at Cougar Field, as the wind, when it blows in here, can keep the ball in and make it a little tougher on a field that's generally known for being kind of a launch pad during the years. That pitch misses up and away, and the count 2 balls and no strikes.
We saw that the other day, Matt, when Alex Ballesteros hit his grand slam on Sunday in the finale of the Antelope Valley Series.
And certainly it was a nice little day out here on Saturday. You talk about that grand slam for Ballesteros. Wind was kind of swirling around a little bit, but blowing out of the southwest I think it was actually out of the southeast today, the wind out of the northwest. I think I actually got my north, south, east, west a little wrong here, which happens.
They won't mistake you for Magellan, that's for
no,
sure.
No, that's not reading a map. I don't do math. It's all bad.
There's compasses on our phone these days. You know that, right?
Doesn't matter. I still read it wrong. It's the count, 2 balls and 1 strike here to Nakaza. Pitch on the outer half, but just outside. Garcia trying to frame it, couldn't get the call. Cougar dugout wasn't happy. Makes it 3 balls and 1 strike to Nathan Nakaza, the designated hitter. Defensively for the Cougars today, Doyle Kane at first, Ballesteros the second baseman, Mikey Kane at shortstop, and Andy Ambrose at third. That's pretty much been the adjustment in the lineup for the entire season for the Cougars. In the outfield, Ryan Camacho in left, Jovan Camacho out in center, Steven Gonzalez out in right, with Garcia behind the plate working along with Prado as the battery in the ballgame. Pretty much a standard lineup as of late. As this one hit into left center field in the air, going to be a tough play for Jovan. On the run will make the catch. Tagging at second base was Matsumoto, but he'll stay put. First out of the inning on a fly ball to left center field, 1 away.
And Matt, it certainly looks like wind will be a factor today. That ball looked like it was going to be driven further into the deep left center field, but might have got knocked down by that wind.
He absolutely took away a little bit on the pitch, or on the play, as it gave enough to Camacho to get under it. And the Camacho boys out in left and center. Very speedy, both two-sport athletes, played defensive back for the football team this last year, known to be kind of ball hawks out there on the football field. Certainly do the same in the outfield here today. And that's why we've seen them kind of really slot in left and center field over the last few games. As this one hit out into left center field by Sanchez on the first pitch. That'll get down for a base hit and back to the wall. Sanchez going to trade places with Matsumoto. And West Los Angeles has a 1-0 lead here in the first.
Well, Matt, the Wildcats have come out swinging. That's 2 first pitch hits now. First for Noah Matsumoto and now Jesus Sanchez. And they trade places, as you say, and they strike early with the first inning run.
It's almost as though they saw something scouting in advanced scouting against Prado, saying, let's get on the first pitch. Let's not let him be crafty with his pitches, as Prado's not a guy that's going to overpower you necessarily, but he is going to come to the plate. He's going to come to the plate with a lot of strikes. And he's going to be in the zone because that's how he has to pitch, trying to get balls in play, get ground balls. So this one fouled straight back.
Another first pitch swinging in. Matt, you're right. For crafty pitchers, guys that have to, sit on a spot and live there, it's necessary to have early in the pitch count and be able to, find those spots early and often. And so getting thrown out of their rhythm early on and having these first pitch swinging, it makes it a little bit difficult to set your next pitches up.
We'll see what Prado has here against West LA on a 1-0 count, or no, 1 count. This one lifted in the air towards shallow center field. Camacho, having to shield his eyes from the sun, is going to be able to make the catch. Good adjustment from Jovan Camacho out there in center field for the second out of the inning.
And that was an adventure for Jovan Camacho in center field. Coming in, you see him shade his eyes pretty late there and then just kind of make the catch by his waist side. Just last-ditch effort.
It's one of those plays in the dugout. You say put a circus over that tent, but Camacho makes the play. It doesn't matter how you get it. It's an out in the scorebook. And with 2 away, Danny Gill will come to the plate, batting .236 on the year with a home run and 18 runs batted in. Gill 17 for 72 this year. Hitting, as we said, just .236. And for Gill, as we try and get down to game-by-game stats for him, been kind of in and out of the lineup at times, has played a majority of the games so far this year, did not play against Citrus on March 26th, but currently running a 3-game hitting streak right now. Has 6 hits in his last 3 ball games as he swings through a little two-seamer maybe on the inside for a strike. Makes the count 1-1. 2 away, runner on second. West LA with a 1-0 lead after doubles from Matsumoto and Sanchez to open the ball game. A pair of flyouts to center field from Nakaza and Hersberger. And Gill now with a ball and a strike on him will face Prado. Fouls that one off his foot, and we'll do it again. Makes the count 1-2. So we send for Gill. Had played 8 straight before sitting out in Game 3 against Citrus, a 6-2 loss. And this is a West LA team that's lost their last 3, did get swept by Citrus. And it's tough to take a sweep in a series, especially here in community college baseball in California, considering you split the series. It's not like you're playing 3 on the road or 3 at home. You go road, home, or home, road, home. And in this case, West LA had 2 of those 3 games at home, losing 2 of the 3 as a called strike 3 on a breaking ball. First strike out of the ball game for Prado. It's the 3rd out of the inning, but West LA gets 1 off a double from Sanchez after the double from Matsumoto. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left on at the end of a half an inning. West LA 1, College of the Canyons coming up. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now. Welcome back to Cougar Field as we go back to work here in the first of 3 games this week between West Los Angeles and the College of the Canyons Cougars. We'll have 2 of those 3. We'll be back on Saturday with you here from Cougar Field as it's a 1 o'clock start time, a little bit earlier than our normal start time right now during this time of year. Make sure you join us for that one as the rubber match between West Los Angeles and College of the Canyons. Lineup today for Chris Cota in his 22nd year as the head coach of the Cougars, 21st season, of course, since they missed that 1 year due to the pandemic. Ryan Camacho will lead things off, the left fielder, followed by Mikey Kane, the shortstop, then the first baseman, Doyle Kane. Steven Gonzalez in the cleanup spot playing in right field today. Andy Ambrose, the third baseman, batting 5th. Alex Ballesteros, fresh off that grand slam against Antelope Valley College here on Saturday, in the 6th spot. Rowan Turan getting a rare start today in the designated hitter role, followed by the catcher Alex Garcia, and then Jovan Camacho, the center fielder, batting in the 9th spot as they will face Henry Castillo. 2-3 on the year for Castillo for West LA, getting what will be his 8th start of the season and what is his 10th appearance of the year. A .698 earned run average, as he's pitched in 29 2/3 innings, given up 30 hits, 30 runs, 23 of them earned, walked 22, and struck out 15 as he'll face Ryan Camacho to start things off here in the first inning. For the Cougars, Camacho 283 on the year, 2 home runs, 14 runs batted in. And Matt, the Camacho brothers have been steady in the lineup since about game 4, but have started to cool off a little bit as of late. We've seen Ryan now batting under 300 for the longest time. He was the hottest hitter in the Cougar lineup, but has kind of struggled a little bit. Does have a 3-game hitting streak right now as he's gotten a single hit in each of his last 3 games. This one on the air towards center field. Gill drifting back will make the catch over his left shoulder for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Matt, and those are the breaks of the game. They go up and down. It's never just straight line A to B. You know, sometimes you're going to be in a slump. Sometimes you're going to be hot and they can't get you out.
And we've seen it with Ryan and Jovan this year. They've kind of switched places, too. Sometimes Ryan will be in the top spot. Sometimes Jovan will be in the leadoff spot. They both are interchangeable in those 1 and those 9 spots. Somebody who's not been interchangeable this year is this guy at the plate, Mikey Kane, batting .371 on the year, 4 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Has been absolutely on fire as of late. Both he and his brother Doyle, as you talked about in the pregame show, have really been guiding the roster. Mikey, of course, a 13-game hitting streak coming into today's game, has played in now 19 of 21 games this year. Missed the first 3, has not been out of the lineup since.
Yeah, Matt, it had a big series against Antelope Valley College. Could have easily been the player who we featured on Who's Hot. We gave the honor to his brother Doyle Kane, but Mikey with 4 hits and 4 RBIs in the first game of that series on Tuesday versus Antelope Valley, and he only continued that throughout that series.
Yeah, went 4 for 5 on the 24th, which was the Thursday game. A 10-9 Cougar loss. Had 4 runs batted in, 3 extra base hits in the ball game, 2 doubles and a triple. Oh, by the way, he walked once as well. So just found himself on the bases all day long. And he's ahead in the count here, 3 balls and no strikes facing Castillo, and he'll just take a 4-pitch walk, a 1-out walk for the Cougars, and Kane down to first.
Yeah, Matt, and as you mentioned, the walk's a big part of Mikey's game. He's not going to just swing at anything. He's willing to take the free pass if it's given to him, evidenced by his 3-walk game on Saturday versus Antelope Valley College as he draws another one here.
He'll bring in his brother Doyle Kane. Doyle this year .318 with a home run and 19 runs batted in, riding a 4-game hitting streak himself and 3 straight games of 3 hits. As Doyle has started to find his rhythm once again. Had a little bit of a mini slump during the middle part of the year, Another guy that's played in now 18 of 21 games, 22 games now on the year. Missed the first 4 before coming back into the lineup, but has really found his way. Like we said, had the mini slump between March 1st and March 17th. Only had 5 hits during that time, but has come on strong over the last week and a half.
And Matt, during conference play, Doyle Kane playing his best. You know, some players just come out and play their best on the biggest stage. That's been Doyle Kane, a .341 average, .429 on base percentage. 30 points higher in average and 60 points higher than his typical on-base percentage in regular play.
Wildcats will try and keep Mikey King close, although Mikey not much of a threat to run. The Cougars in general not much of a threat to run. Mikey this season, 3 stolen bases in 4 attempts. That might be the team lead, to be quite honest, when we look at it. For the Cougars this year as a unit, as we look at the stolen base numbers, I mean, it's not high. I got to go find the stat, but I know it's, last time we looked, the other team had 50-something stolen bases to less than 10 for College of the Canyons, and I think we're in a similar spot right now. As a unit this year for the Cougars, 16 stolen bases. They have 10 of those 16 in conference play, which is nice, as Kane hits this one in the air to right field. Baldwin drifting back will have a play on it, makes the catch. That'll force Mikey to retreat back to first. 2 away here in the first inning. We're talking about the stolen base numbers, 57 to 16 in favor of the opponents this year, as College of the Canyons just not apt to steal a lot of bases. This is from Steven Gonzalez, 271 on the year, 3 home runs, 15 runs batted in.
And the good news for the Cougars is that the Wildcats are not a team that's very steal happy either. Only 19 stolen bases for West Los Angeles on the season. As something we've noted in many of our shows and many of our broadcasts, that the Cougars struggle to hold runners on base.
As Gonzalez waits at the plate, takes this one down. 2 away here in the first inning. Steven having a tough run as of late, just 2 for his last 19, 0 for his last 7, just trying to find anything to break out. And certainly a guy you need to break out, especially with Taft and Hensley not in the lineup once again today. Taft's kind of been in and out of the lineup as of late, and that's a big bat missing from the Cougar lineup when you think about it. Tafton this year has been leading the roster in home runs and runs batted in for most of the year, has 8 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Mikey nearly picked off on a good throw from Matsumoto, but just dives back in. So you asked Steven Gonzalez now to press himself into service and try and pick up some big hits in big spots.
Yeah, not having Tapton Hensley is a huge loss for this Cougars lineup. Obviously one of the more feared hitters in there. You could put him in at the 4 spot as cleanup or in the 5 spot, and not having him definitely makes it more difficult to get runs across the board here.
So we went on a 1-1 pitch to Gonzalez. This one chopped up the third base line. Eves has a tough play, needs to charge, makes a strong throw, and gets Gonzalez by a step and a half for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Cougars leave 1 aboard after a 1-out walk from Mikey Kane. 1-0 West Los Angeles as we head to the 2nd inning here from Cougar Field.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
The new media journalism program focuses on hands-on training for up-and-coming multimedia journalists.
We do shows every 2 weeks, and students put together their own stories. They go out and shoot them, they do the voiceover, they edit them together. It's a really, really cool hands-on experience.
If you want to dive right into the world of journalism, this is the only place to do it.
Second inning we go here from Cougar Field. College of the Canyons trailing West Los Angeles 1-0, and it'll be Gallegos, Baldwin, and Eves heading to the plate here for West LA. In this second inning to face Albert Prado. Gallegos has had a pretty good year in limited opportunities this year. Gallegos 18 for 57, 316 on the season, with a home run and 11 runs batted in. But another guy, and it's really been for West LA this year, in and out, in and out, in and out, kind of bouncing around, not getting full games in, coming off the bench a few times here and there, but does have a 4-game hitting streak right now. That's without playing against Citrus on Thursday. Went 1 for 3 on Saturday against Citrus College, trying to start things off here in the second inning for West Los Angeles. First pitch from Prado, in for a strike on the outside corner with a fastball, makes it 0-1. Matt Prado trying to settle in here in the second, looked a little bit more comfortable as that first inning went on after giving up doubles to Matsumoto and Sanchez, but got a couple of flyouts, struck out Danny Gill, and I think if he can kind of settle himself in a little bit more, can keep the Cougars in this ball game and give them a chance to try and drive some runs in themselves.
Yeah, Matt, you took the words out of my mouth. Was looking a lot more comfortable as that first inning went on. Was greeted rudely by a first pitch double off the bat of Noah Matsumoto to open the game. But after that was able to settle down despite that double from Jesus Sanchez.
So 1-1 pitch to Gallegos, misses away, makes it 2-1. I think for Prado it's really comes down to how well he can mix pitches today. We've seen the two-seamer, a lot of movement on it today, and that's kind of, I think, maybe throwing him off. A little bit more movement than maybe he's used to, maybe a grip change, something different he's been working on. But the ball definitely moving towards the arm side a little bit more today, even on that pitch right there, over the inside heart of the plate for a strike.
Yeah, and elements always play a part in that as well, the weather, and it's a nice day, sunny, but it's still a little moist out, a little cool, so could always play into the way your pitches are moving on any given day.
Speak of moist, we had a lot of rain yesterday here in Santa Clarita, Southern California in general, which we're not used to. Southern California, if we get rain, it's a very rare opportunity. What, 365 days in the year, 350 of them are sunny in Southern California.
Not something we're used to or know how to handle.
Especially not a lot like we had yesterday. It was quite a bit, over about an inch and a half. As that one foul tipped into the catcher's glove. Second strikeout of the day for Prado. Back-to-back strikeouts as he ended the first on a strikeout. One away here in the second inning. That'll bring Justin Baldwin in. Baldwin batting .315 on the year, but just 5 for 16. Getting a chance to start here today. Baldwin also a pitcher on the roster as well. He's made a few appearances this season for West Los Angeles, but playing right field today. And that's been why he's been limited in at-bats. This is just his second, or actually his second time this year. No, it's his first time starting back-to-back games. I'm trying to look down, and he had zeros in a couple other spots, but just first time starting back-to-back games in the lineup. As he swings and misses, went 2 for 4 against Citrus on Saturday. It's by even to the count here, 1-1.
That's right, Matt, including a triple, so maybe some speed here that the Cougars need to be conscious of if he should reach base.
Prado set at the belt, working exclusively out of the stretch. Will deal and miss down and away. Makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. Absolutely gorgeous day here for a ball game. Can't ask for better weather, really, after a rainy Monday and a rainy Tuesday night, or Tuesday morning, we should say. Some concern coming into today that we wouldn't have the field, it wouldn't be ready to go, but with as little rain as we got, especially this winter this year, water kind of just gets sucked up by the field. It's happy to have it. The grass looking a little greener than it usually does here at Cougar Field today. As we wait on the 2-1 pitch from Prado. Swung on and missed on a big hack by Baldwin. Makes it 2-2.
No, never a doubt from me, Matt. We got a wonderful grounds crew here. Knew that they were going to have this place ready to go, and it does look pristine today. And that must be the 4th swing and miss from Prado here. He's definitely got them off balance, so it looks like he might have found that groove and able to sequence his pitches like he does so well.
I feel like he's found the fastball a little bit more control on it. Thinks he has a little bit more feel for where it's going to be. As back-to-back strikeouts in the inning, 3 straight strikeouts for Prado. 2 away here in the second.
Third baseman George Eves.
As it'll bring George Eves to the plate, the third baseman. 2 for 18 on the year for Eves. He's batting a $111. Eves just playing in his 8th game of the season, has been very limited in opportunities. It'll be his 8th start of the season. Actually, it'll be his 9th game played, although he did not have an at-bat or really register anything on March 10th against Glendale. I think just came in as a defensive replacement. So 8th start of the year. Only 16 at-bats this year. He's walked 4 times, struck out 9 times, so susceptible to the strikeout as he's even in the count 1-1 here against Prado. See, Eves kind of an interesting style at the plate. Stands really high, kind of just waves the bat with his left hand to start trying to get himself loose. And then crouches in as the pitch comes as he takes that pitch down in the dirt, makes it 2-1.
And out in the field, Matt, it reminded me a lot on that play that ended the bottom of the first inning of Pablo Sandoval at third base.
Yep.
He came crashing in on that ground ball and made a nice strike and throw to first base.
Absolutely. It certainly has the build of a Pablo Sandoval.
And they called him the Panda, but really he's more like a cat out there.
Yeah, he was, absolutely.
Great on his feet, quick first step, always an excellent defender.
You look at Eves, 5'11", 240 is what he's listed out of Los Angeles, California. Certainly a guy that I think if you get a hold of one can drive it to the gaps, just has not had many opportunities to do so, finds himself in a 2-2 count, fouls this one away. He'll come back and do it again.
Big long swing there, Matt, not shortening up for anything. He's trying to get his money's worth here.
And that's something that I think lost, and we've talked about it a lot. The game has become kind of a strikeout home run kind of style of play, and the big swings, it's kind of come down to it where teams and players, when they look analytically, say, we'd rather you strike out 100 times if you hit 40 home runs. Singles and doubles shortening up, just trying to drive a ball for a base hit doesn't help out as that one. Check swing, called strike 3 by the first base umpire. And Prado strikes out the side here in the second. 4 straight Ks for the young man from College of the Canyons. We head to the home half of the second inning. 1-0 West LA.
The restaurant and hotel business is the second largest industry in the state of California. Opportunities in such a vibrant career are a click away at College of the Canyons.
It teaches you how to work with people, how to motivate people, how to manage people, how to lead people. And those qualities are so in demand in whatever industry we choose to go into.
COC can get you started on a journey into hotel and restaurant management today.
I had this one already. I tried.
Leading off for the Cougars and batting fifth, number 15, third baseman Andy Ambrose.
Cougars will send Ambrose, Ballesteros, and Turan to the plate here to face Castillo in the second inning. As they trail 1-0. This is a good inning from Albert Prado in the second. Struck out the side, now has 4 straight Ks. Cougars will try and help him out and get some action on the bases here in the second inning. Ambrose batting .311 on the year, stepping in, first pitch swinging, a one-hopper to the shortstop picked by Sanchez, fires to first, and retires Ambrose. Just unfortunate, Ambrose hit it on the screws, but right at the shortstop Sanchez for the first out.
Batting sixth.
What a play by the young man Sanchez out at short. Doesn't have any time to react, just turn the glove backhand on one hop, pick it, and throw across the diamond to get Ambrose for the first out.
And it was absolutely right at him, maybe bounced about, what, foot in front of him, maybe? It's pretty solid play from Jesus Sanchez, the sophomore out of Inglewood, California. He's made 13 errors on the year, an .835 fielding percentage, but has had 79 total chances before that one. So a tough position at short, and makes a nice play there. Is now Alex Ballesteros will step in, batting .315 as he hits this one in the air to deep center field. Gill drifting back, looking up at the fence, will make the catch just in front of the wall. The wind may be holding that one up just a bit as Ballesteros gives it a ride, hits it about as far as you can without leaving the park. 2 away here at Cougar Field.
Ballesteros bidding for back-to-back games with long balls there. It came up just short, and again, might be a factor of the wind. You look at the flag out in left field, it's definitely blowing in towards home plate. That one might have kept it in the yard.
There's now the designated hitter, Rowan Turan, getting just his 5th start of the year. First start since February 17th in a 5-1 loss against Santa Ana, where he went 0 for 3. He's just 1 for 12 on the year. We'll try and get something going with 2 away in the second inning. So Ballesteros gives one a ride, comes up just a touch short. Now you force Turan into a 2-out situation, just trying to get the Cougars a base runner here. As Castillo so far has gotten Camacho and Kane to fly out, Gonzalez and Ambrose to ground out. The hardest hit ball was really Ballesteros, that one back to the wall, and that's been just about it. This one hit in the air towards right center field. Going to be a tough play for Gill, but running over makes a sprinting catch, and that'll end the inning. So a couple of balls hit hard, but right into the glove of the center fielder Gill. And at the end of 2 full, 1-0 in favor of West Los Angeles here from Cougar Field. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now. We go to the third. Cougars trailing 1-0. Prado back on the bump for the third inning. We'll face Figueroa, then the top of the order. Has struck out 4 straight and retired 5 in a row after giving up the double to Matsumoto to lead off the game and the double to Sanchez to drive him in.
To the top of the third, leading up for West Los Angeles.
He's been active on the mound. A lot of deep counts for Prado so far through 2 innings, but finding strikeouts, getting swings and misses. Making it tough on the bottom half of the West LA lineup. As here's Figueroa batting .278 on the year, 15 for 54 with 5 runs batted in. We'll try and lead things off here in the third inning. First pitch swinging, a chopper up the third base line and foul. So Figueroa will come back and we'll do it again.
And Figueroa hitting 9th in the lineup today, but has been hot over the last 3 games that he's appeared in. 3 hits versus Antelope Valley on March 18th, including 4 runs scored. March 22nd versus Citrus, a hit and 2 runs. And then on March 24th again at Citrus, 2 hits and 4 at-bats.
The 0-1 pitch misses inside. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Figueroa 6 for his last 13, as you said, Matt, 461. He's got a 3-game hitting streak. Did not play, though, against Citrus, as we talked about, that 6-2 loss. and has only played in 3 of the last 6. So he's, again, another guy that's kind of been in and out, in and out, in and out. And, I mean, having played, you know, it's hard when you're not getting consistent at-bats to stay consistent at the plate. You need to see pitches. It's just like anything in any sport. The more reps you get, the better off you are when it comes to game time.
And it may be a philosophy of West Los Angeles College trying to get all their players opportunities to get in there, but it may also just be a thing where, hey, you have to be able to do the little things as well if you want to get playing time. And that might mean, you know, making some slick plays in the field or whatever it is that the rest of the team might not be bringing to the field every time.
As he works the leadoff walk as Prado loses him. First walk of the day issued by Prado. Leadoff runner aboard here in the 3rd inning for West Los Angeles. As we go back to the top of the order, Noah Matsumoto, who's seen exactly 1 pitch in the ball game and doubled and scored back in the 1st inning, comes to the plate.
And let's see how Prado adjusts here to Matsumoto, who didn't give Prado very much time to get comfortable here in this game with that ringing double into right center in the 1st.
As he swings at the first pitch, it's it right back to Prado, who knocked it down. Really, he just was defending himself more than anything else. And he's able to get Matsumoto at first base for the first out here, the 3rd inning, 1-3.
Number 10, designated hitter.
That was a bullet off the bat of Matsumoto. Nice play by Prado, knocks it down. At first wasn't sure where it was, but knew he had plenty of time, locates the ball right down on the mound in front of him and throws Matsumoto out at first.
I think, like we said, more or less defending himself more than anything else with how hard that ball was hit. So Matsumoto now has seen 2 pitches and hit the ball hard both times. As with 1 away, Nakaza, who flied to center field, comes up with a runner at second base, and Figueroa, who was able to move ahead. Had Prado fielded it cleanly, could have had Figueroa potentially doubled off, but I think, again, just a nice play even to just knock it down and make sure it wasn't a base hit.
Prado maybe overthrowing on that first pitch fastball to Nakaza on one way high and away, maybe trying to be a little too perfect here.
Prado gives a look back to Figueroa and deals the 1-0 pitch again. Another fastball misses high and away, and Garcia does all he can to just keep it from getting to the backstop. And he's behind here, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Matt, and he flew open on those last 2 pitches. And what I mean by that is that his right shoulder was basically opening up toward the third base dugout as opposed to being more square with home plate upon finishing his delivery there. So let's see if he can get his mechanics back in order now.
This one hit in the air towards left field. Ryan Camacho out there roaming will make the catch. So Nakaza 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts. 2 down here in the 3rd inning. And Jesus Sanchez coming to the plate.
Shortstop Jesus Sanchez.
Sanchez made that nice play back in the 2nd inning to take away a base hit from Andy Ambrose. Standing in now, going back to work for West LA. Sanchez did not play 2 of the last 4 games. He started the last 2, not including today. Played both the final 2 games against Citrus. Went 2 for 2 on Thursday, but 0 for 4 on Saturday. Missed the previous 2, one against Citrus, one against Antelope Valley. So might have been working through something and starting to find his rhythm once again. Saw the nice defensive play. Had a double to drive home the only run of the ball game back in the 1st inning. And a 1-0 count will face Prado here. As Figueroa leads away from second, that one nearly catches him and makes it 2 balls and no strikes.
And Sanchez on his double in the 1st inning got a fastball on the inside part of the plate and pulled it into left center. And it looks like Prado not afraid to go right back to that spot here in this at-bat with the runner on second.
Well, it's good to see from Prado, who he said is not a guy that's necessarily going to overpower you, but to attack and come with pitches on the inner half, trying to move the ball around as he does there with a breaking ball for a called strike, makes it 2-1. Just continuing to battle.
Yeah, Matt, and as a pitcher, if you're not a power pitcher, you have to live on your spots. You have to take command of one side of the zone or both of it, you know, depending on where you're getting the calls and where you're keeping hitters uncomfortable. And Prado's done a really good job of doing that after the first inning so far.
It's the 2-1 pitch to Sanchez down in the dirt, going to get away from Garcia. He's got to get there quickly as the runner at third is Figueroa now. Was rounding like he was going to take off, but Garcia able to get back, and Figueroa will stop at third base and give Sanchez a chance with a 3-1 pitch to try and drive him in with 2 away here in the third inning.
And Matt, as we mentioned in the pregame show and in these first 2.5 innings so far, this is a down and battered West Los Angeles team. They're going to take every single inch that College of the Canyons gives them, and they are going to be aggressive and try to get a series W here this week.
It's a West LA team that, as we said, just 5-18 on the year. They've really had a rough go at home. Something about their home field has just not been nice to them this year. 0-12. Have played much better on the road, been much more comfortable, right about 500, just a game below. As a walk to Sanchez, so Prado a little careful with him late in the at-bat. Second walk of the inning issued, and Kai Hirschberger will come in, who flew out to center field in his only at-bat today.
Well, now if you're Prado, you need to go back to what was working for you. That's locating at your spots, mixing in the fastball, the two-seamer, and the breaking ball, keeping the hitters off balance, just as he was doing in the second inning where he struck out the side. No difference here. He's got 2 outs. Just needs to get one good pitch to induce an out.
You talk about a West LA team that's down and battered. They've just picked up 2 wins in their last 9 games. And actually 2 in their last 10 as we go back to March 3rd against Golden West. Have not had a winning streak of any significance this year. Have won a game and then gone on losing streaks of 2 or 3 games, sometimes 4.
And Matt lost 14 of their first 17 games this season.
It's just been a tough run for him this year, but they've got a chance to try and put a second run on the board as Hirschberger fouls this one off to the left, and it's 0-2. Sanchez over at first, 4 for 4 on the bases this year. We'll see if 2 strikes they decide to put him in motion against a Cougar team that is, as we said, struggled to throw runners out this year. 57 stolen bases against coming into today's game. And they've only caught 10 guys, so 57 of 67 against. So this one popped up foul, out of play once again off to the left. And that's a tough number when you talk about it. You're looking at Cougar this year, when he's been behind the dish, has allowed 41 stolen bases, just a 12% runner caught stealing average this year. Garcia, just 15%. 2 for 13 when throwing runners out this year. They just have had a struggle. A lot of it's come down to their pitching staff being unable to give them good pitches in. As you see right here, another really good jump, and the Cougars just decided to try and throw Figueroa out, not going to get him. So down to second base is Sanchez, as he'll take second. And again, we looked at it right there. Sanchez was about halfway between first and second before Garcia even got the ball.
Yeah, Prado has a high leg kick from the stretch, and that just gives the runner a huge jump, huge head start, and really there, a defensive indifference because the Cougars pretty much know we don't have a chance.
Yep.
We're just going to try and throw to third base and hope we get him.
Maybe thinking too, West LA maybe trying to steal a run. Hirschberger waits on the 1-2 pitch, and that one gets back to the screen. So West LA going to do nothing and get a run out of it as an error by the Cougars on a wild pitch by Prado. Scores Figueroa and makes it 2-0 West Los Angeles.
Yeah, Matt, and the Cougars were the victim of a few wild pitches in their game on Tuesday against Antelope Valley in extra innings. 4 pass balls or wild pitches in the top of the 10th inning, ultimately resulting in their demise that game. We see it here again today.
2-2 count here to Hirschberg as Prado set at the belt once again. Now Sanchez leading away from third, and Prado misses up. He had him 0-2. And now the count is full at 3-2 with 2 away here in the 3rd inning. A payoff pitch upcoming. So leadoff walk to Figueroa. Ground ball or a line drive from Matsumoto that was knocked down by Prado to get the first out of the inning. And then Nakaza flew to left field. A walk to Sanchez and a wild pitch has put West LA into a 2-0 lead. Payoff pitch to Hirschberger. Grounded towards the right side through the infield for a base hit as Hirschberger will drive in the 3rd run of the ball game. West LA with a 3-0 lead. Their first hit here of the 3rd inning. And so now the Cougars find themselves in an early hole.
17, center fielder Danny Gill.
Well, nothing Prado did wrong there. He threw a good pitch on the inside part of the plate. Just a good job by Hirschberger, taking it to right field and just out of the reach of Doyle Kane sliding to his right there. And those are the breaks of the game sometimes.
So here's Danny Gill, struck out his last time up. Prado had retired 5 in a row before the walk to Figueroa. And before the walk to Sanchez, is retired 7 of 8. But gives up a walk and a hit to Hirschberger. And falls behind on the first pitch to Gill on a fastball that missed on the inside. Nobody up in the Cougar bullpen, so they're going to stay with Prado for as long as they can. Prado usually good for about 5. That's been his longest outing of the year. I think it was 5 1/3 back against Ventura on the 15th of February. That's been kind of the MO for COC this year. Really, nobody on the pitching staff has gone deep into ball games this season. I think the longest outing may have been Kyle Kopp. Went 7 against Antelope Valley the other day. I don't really recall anybody really going much more than that as the year's gone on. It's been kind of pitching by committee for the Cougars this year. So they'll check on the runner at first base. Diving back head first is Hirschberger.
Prado might be onto something there with that pickoff mood. Hirschberger was actually leaning and almost starting his move towards second base. Almost caught him off guard, but just able to get back in time. So Cougars need to be wary of the Wildcats on the base bats here.
So throw back over to first once again. Hirschberger this time in standing up.
And Matt, I do believe Kyle Kopp's start of 7 innings the other day was the longest for the Cougars. It's really been a pitching staff by committee this year, just patchworking it all together.
Yeah, that's what I'm scrolling through right now, trying to look through our pitchers and figure out who's gone the longest, and that's what we're seeing right now. Runner in motion, throw not going to be in time as it bounces past Ballesteros at second base. And a stolen base once again for West LA. Hirschberger down to second. And a runner in scoring position here for Danny Gill with 2 away in the 3rd inning. And a 2-1 count. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count here to Gill as he fouled that last pitch off. Prado needing a big pitch here to get out of the inning. He's given up a couple. That one swung on and missed. Strike 3, that'll end the 3rd inning. 5th strikeout of the game for Prado. But West LA gets 2. Off a couple of walks, a wild pitch, and a base hit from Hirschberger. We head to the home half of the 3rd inning. 3-0 in favor of the Wildcats here from Cougar Field.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
Bottom half of the third we go. Cougars looking to get something going, trailing right now 3-0.
Leading off for the Cougars in batting eighth, number 31, catcher Alex Garcia.
As they'll go 8-9-1 here in the third inning. Alex Garcia will lead things off, followed by Jovan Camacho and then Ryan Camacho, the scheduled hitters here in the third, facing Castillo, who's retired 5 in a row. First pitch to Garcia, over for a breaking ball and a strike. Garcia 313 on the year, 5 for 16. Has taken over as the starting catcher for the Cougars over the last few weeks. DJ Cougar had started a number of games in a row, but this is the 6th straight start for Garcia. After DJ had started ...20 in a row, and I think about 16, maybe 17 behind the plate, as Brandon Rayner was the starting catcher early on in the year for the Cougars. Cougar actually had played first base and was the DH for a little while. But Garcia now in there as of last 6 games, everyday catcher. Waits on a 2-2 pitch. Hits this one in the air to left field. Drifting back is Hershberger, and he's going to be able to make the catch as the wind kind of hangs it up. One away here in the third inning. Cougars trailing 3-0. As that'll bring Jovan Camacho to the plate. Camacho 274 on the year, 8 runs batted in. Has slowed down both him and his brother as of late. Just 11 of his last 36, which is still batting .306, but considering at one point in time he was hitting right near 400. It's just not been able to string together multiple hits in ball games. Did have a 7-game hitting streak snapped on Thursday against Antelope Valley. Has hits in 8 of the last 9, but a lot of single hit games. Has not really been to string together much more than that. As he waits on a 1-2 pitch. Castillo has retired 6 in a row. And outside of the hard hit balls from Ambrose, Ballesteros, and Turan, really has not allowed anything with a lot of danger on it. Ambrose a one-hopper to Sanchez. Ballesteros a fly ball to the wall in center field. And Turan a line drive out into right center that didn't fall. That's really been it. So 3-2 count here to Jovan Camacho. Camacho down on strikes. Good pitch that time from Castillo. First strikeout of the day for Castillo, and that'll bring Ryan Camacho to the plate. 2 away here in the third. Camacho flew out to center field in the first inning. Cougars just trying to get a base runner at this point in time. We've only had one runner on. Mikey Kane walked in the first. That's been it so far in the ball game. As the first pitch to Camacho over for a strike. Castillo's retired 7 in a row now. And 8 of the first 9 he's faced in the ball game. This one fouled off to the right. No balls and 2 strikes here to Ryan Camacho.
And Matt, so important for the Cougars not to press here. We know runs are going to be at a premium. Just need to get some base runners here moving forward now, not be too worried or concerned and get in their heads.
As it's only the third, and you're facing a guy in Castillo who's only gone his max 5 innings this year. He's done that 3 times this season. Talked about has given up 30 runs. As that one a base hit out into right field by Ryan Camacho. He's going to try and take a big turn and force an errant throw, but we'll just stay at first with a 2-out single. And the Cougars with a runner aboard, just their second base runner of the ball game. As Camacho with a base hit.
Mikey Kane
Will extend his hit streak to 4 games with the single. And now has hits in 7 of his last 8. That'll bring in Mikey Kane.
And perhaps, Matt, that will loosen up the rest of this Cougars lineup now that they got this off the schneid there with the base hit in the 3rd inning.
So here's Mikey Kane, walked in his first at bat. Mikey, 24 for his last 60, batting .400 on the year. That's during the 13-game hitting streak. Has started 22 in a row, hits in 18 of 21. Now 19 of 22 is a base hit out into left field on a sharp line drive from Mikey Kane. And runners aboard first and second with 2 away for the Cougars here in the 3rd.
batting 3rd.
Good piece of hitting that time by Mikey. Just stayed back on a fastball, made sure he got his hands out in front and drove it to left field.
Right, and not trying to do too much, just get the ball in play, and it ends up being a base hit, perhaps a little rally here, 2-out rally now for the Cougars.
So here's Doyle Kane riding a 4-game hitting streak of his own, stepping in with 2 on and 2 out here in the 3rd. A 3-0 ball game, West LA in the lead. Kane, who we talked about being one of the hotter Cougar bats as of late, fouls the first pitch off and to the right. It's behind in the count, 0-1. Had 9 hits against Antelope Valley in the 3-game series. Crazy, 9 for 16 during that 3-game series. Just couldn't quite get COC over the hump in 2 of 3 as an inside move that time from Castillo. Threw it to the second baseman Figueroa, who was still about 1.5 feet away from the bag. No balls and 1 strike here to Kane, who fouls that pitch straight back to the screen, makes it 0-2.
And Cougars sure would like for Doyle Kane to continue his hot streak right here and get a couple runs in and try to cut this deficit.
This is a COC offense this year, Matt, who's been very good. I mean, you look at the offensive output, the offensive numbers this season. 178 runs scored this year, 251 hits, 23 home runs, 161 runs batted in. Now, granted, it's likely middle of the state, as California is very packed top to bottom in baseball, community college baseball, but they've done their job. 80 extra base hits on the year. They've walked 112 times. The one downside for the Cougars, 181 strikeouts, and a lot of those have come in big spots this season.
And the inability to put the ball in play can be one of the more detrimental things to an offense. Doing the little things, sacrificing runners over, getting sack flies and bringing runs in.
It's this one, a little chopper right back to the mound, picked up by Castillo. He'll run it over to first base. And the Cougars will leave 2 on here in the 3rd inning. After 2 out hits from Ryan Camacho and Mikey Kane, we head to the 4th. 3-0 in favor of West LA here from Cougar Field.
And welcome back to Cougar Field, top of the 4th inning. The Wildcats will be sending their 6, 7, 8 hitters to the plate. Tristan Gallegos, Justin Baldwin, and George Eves. Albert Prado back out for his 4th inning of work. Been a bit of a mixed bag for Prado, who in the 1st inning gave up doubles to Noah Matsumoto and Jesus Sanchez and a run. Then came back, struck out the final batter of the 1st inning, Danny Gill, and then struck out the side in the 2nd inning for 4 consecutive strikeouts, but had a tumultuous 3rd inning where he gave up a leadoff walk to Isaiah Figueroa and ultimately yielded 2 more runs. And that's where we find ourselves right now, the Wildcats leading 3-0 as we enter the 4th inning. And Prado's last time out on Tuesday versus Antelope Valley went 5 innings, giving up 5 hits and just 1 run in what ended up being an extra innings loss for the Cougars, giving up 4 runs in the top of the 10th inning to the Martyrs. But Prado will look to keep the Cougars within striking distance here as Tristan Gallegos will stride to the plate. Left-handed batter Gallegos struck out, one of the victims of the 2nd inning when Prado struck out the side. Hitting .316 on the year, 1 home run and 11 RBIs. And as Matt has said throughout this broadcast, limited playing time for a lot of the players here for West Los Angeles College. A lot of players with 10, 12, 15, 16 games played. For Gallegos, this will be his 18th game played, and that's among the team leaders. And impressive to have 11 RBIs in such a short amount of time as he checks his swing there, and it evens the count at 1-1. Prado really having good movement on that 2-seamer today, and at times to a fault, a little bit too much movement perhaps, where he hasn't exactly known where it's going and been able to control it. And looking to find himself again here. Here's the 1-1 to Gallegos. Chopped on the right side, scooped up by Kane. He makes the flip to Prado at first for the 1st out of the 4th inning. So that'll bring in Justin Baldwin, who was the 2nd casualty of Prado's 2nd inning where he struck out the side. Baldwin, the right fielder for West Los Angeles College, hitting .313 on the year, and again, limited playing time, just 9 games, this being his 10th. 3 RBIs on the season. Takes a first pitch fastball for a strike from Prado, 0-1. And a dearth of lefties in this West Los Angeles lineup. You have Nathan Izaka, Justin Baldwin, Tristan Gallegos, all left-handed batters. As 0-1 rides in high and tight for ball 1. Despite just a .313 average, a .500 slugging percentage for Baldwin here on the season. As he grounds this one to the left side, Mikey Kane picks it up, makes the throw across the diamond to Doyle Kane for the 2nd out of the inning.
Number 45, 3rd baseman George Eves.
And so a relatively smooth beginning to the fourth inning here for Prado, and he'll welcome in George Eves to the batter's box, who was the final victim of the second inning when Prado struck out the side. Eves, right-handed batter, steps in, open stance, and waits on the first pitch from Prado. Ooh, and that one hits him right on the shoulder, and Prado will take the jog down the first base line. It'll be a two-out base runner for the Wildcats.
Number 7, second baseman Isaiah Figueroa.
So Isaiah Figueroa will take his walk to the batter's box. Figueroa started the rally in the third inning for the Wildcats. He drew a walk and would ultimately score a run on a passed ball during Kai Hirschberger's at-bat. That was the second run of the day for the Wildcats. And so what was looking like a very easy and quick inning for Prado just got a little more interesting now with Eves on first base and Figueroa, who we saw last inning, work out a walk. First pitch from Prado. This one squirts away from Garcia, picks it up. Eves on the move. The throw down is not going to be in time, and Eves will take second on the wild pitch. So Figueroa this year in 17 games, a .278 average, 5 RBIs. It's been even better in conference play. In 6 games, a .364 average and .417 on base percentage, as he takes the 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for a strike to even things up at 1-1. And for Prado, this has kind of been the story of the day, other than the first inning and the third inning. Just kind of made some of his own trouble with a leadoff walk to Figueroa, and then 2 runs scoring on 2 outs thanks to a wild pitch and then a single from Hirschberger. Here with 2 outs, hits Eves with a ball, and is now, as this one's hit in the air to deep left center field. Camacho on the run, can't make the catch. It hits off the glove of Camacho, and Eves comes around third to score the 4th run of the day for the Wildcats.
Yeah, double check with Jesse, but I don't care that the sun gets it.
And that one, from our vantage point at least, looked like it was a catchable ball for Jovan Camacho. He ranged over to his right, got to it in time in the gap in left center field, and it looked like he got a glove on it. It just hit off his glove or maybe his arm and fell to the ground. I think that's going to go down as an error on Camacho, and so Eves comes around to score, and the Cougars shoot themselves in the foot there and allow another 2-out runner to score, and it's 4-0. So that'll welcome in Noah Matsumoto, the leadoff hitter, who has now seen a total of 3 pitches and has swung at every one. That one's foul and out of play, 0-1. But Matsumoto opened the game with a leadoff double into right center field. He would come in to score on an RBI double from Jesus Sanchez later in the inning. And then in the third inning, on the first pitch he saw, hit a comebacker to Prado, which Prado knocked down and promptly threw him out at first with. Prado set, the 0-1 pitch on the way. This one chopped back up the middle. Mikey Kane to his left, picks it up and throws to first, and Kane handles the throw for the final out of the inning. But a run comes in on the error in center field. The Wildcats extend their lead 4-0.
I love emergency medicine. You're there at these people's worst time of their life, and you're there to make it a little bit better.
The EMT program at COC is a 1-semester program. Over the course of it, the EMT students will learn the textbook knowledge they need, practical hands-on skills that they're going to need working out on an ambulance or in a hospital or whatever setting they decide to work
People are constantly hiring. There's always a need for first responders. When I graduated from this program, I got a job within a month.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Into the bottom of the fourth we go. The Cougars will be sending up Steven Gonzalez, Andy Ambrose, and Alex Ballesteros, trailing 4-0. As Henry Castillo goes back out for his fourth inning of work in what has been a strong start so far for the Wildcats. First pitch on the outside corner for a called strike one. Gonzalez grounded to third base his first time up in the first inning. And as Matt had mentioned, 2 for his last 19 entering today, now 2 for his last 20. Hits this one to the left side. Sanchez gobbles it up and makes the throw across the diamond for the out. So Gonzalez is retired, and that'll bring in Andy Ambrose, who is 0 for 1.
Number 15, third baseman Andy Ambrose.
He grounded to the shortstop Sanchez as well in his previous at-bat. That was a slick one-hop pickup by Sanchez, who's flashed the leather a little bit here this afternoon. First pitch from Castillo. Misses just off the plate, 1-0. Ambrose playing in his 25th game of the year. This now his 92nd at-bat of the season. As he fouls that one back to the screen. Two home runs on the season, 28 hits. A .311 average and .434 on base percentage. The one downside perhaps is strikeouts, 22 in those 91 at-bats so far this year. But as we've talked about, it's really become a part of the modern era of baseball, strikeouts and home runs. There's really no differentiating between the two anymore. As Ambrose lays off the 2-1 slider, and it's now 3-1. So the Cougars looking to put something together here, trailing 4-0 in the bottom of the fourth against the West Los Angeles College team that really has not pitched well, has been the victim of some really big blowout losses as Castillo pours in a fastball on the inside part of the plate to run the count full. But we mentioned at the open of the show, in the pregame show, West Los Angeles College has had multiple blowout losses of 12 runs or more this season. As it's ball 4 issued by Castillo, and Ambrose will take first base on the free pass.
Number 12.
And that'll bring up second baseman Alex Ballesteros with a runner on first. But just to finish that thought, West Los Angeles has taken some very big defeats this year, including most recently to Antelope Valley on March 17th, a score of 28-6. And so a pitching staff that can be had. The Cougars have to know that in the back of their head and just bear down here and put together some quality at-bats and get base runners on. Ballesteros stands in. He's 0 for 1. Flew out to the center fielder Gill in his previous at-bat and nearly hit it out of the park. Gill was backed up to the warning track and the wall and made that catch. And Ballesteros bidding for what would be his second consecutive game with a home run. He hit a grand slam on Saturday against Antelope Valley in the Cougars' 13-6 victory to salvage the final game of that series. This one's hit down the left field line, just foul. And so Ballesteros will have to come back just about 2 feet to the left of the chalk line down the left field line. That would have easily been extra bases for Ballesteros and maybe even scored Ambrose from first. But instead it's just a long strike, and Ballesteros will come back into the box with a 2-1 count. Castillo today, now working in his 4th inning, as he throws over to first and checks in on Ambrose. The ball squirts away up the first base line, and Ambrose will take second base. So a pickoff move from Castillo that gets away from Gallegos. It was hard to see. It might have been a clean throw, but Gallegos just simply couldn't come up with it. I think it's going to be an error on the first baseman, and regardless, it's going to move Ambrose down to second now with 1 out. This ball's hit in the air to right center field. Ranging to his right is Baldwin. He makes the over-the-shoulder catch for the second out. Ambrose tags and advances to third, but what a catch there from Baldwin out in right field to save extra bases and a run. Ballesteros now in 2 at-bats has really put good swings on the ball. The first one, as we mentioned, to deep center field was reeled in by Gill, and Baldwin on that one had to move pretty far to his right, makes an over-the-shoulder catch, and no doubt that saves a run for the Wildcats. So now with 2 outs, it's going to bring in Rowan Tehran, who is DHing today, just his 7th game of the season. And he hit the ball hard to right center field, his first at-bat. Takes a first pitch slider on the outside part of the plate, and it's 0-1. For Ballesteros, you got to just say, what do I have to do to get a hit? He has hit the ball on the screws both times today, but with nothing to show for it. Line drive left side and through for a base hit. And Rowan Tehran delivers the first Cougars run with an RBI single to left field, and that cuts the Wildcats' lead to 4-1.
Number 31.
So Tehran, as we mentioned, limited playing time, just his 7th game of the year, but making the most of his opportunities with the RBI single, a 2-out RBI single at that, to get the Cougars on the board. And now Castillo, with his first bit of adversity this afternoon, will face the catcher Alex Garcia. Garcia 0 for 1 today, fly out to left field his last at-bat, takes the first pitch for a strike on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. And what a feeling it must be for Tehran. As we mentioned, limited playing time. It's been DJ Koner getting a lot of the playing time behind the dish, but Garcia here, or rather Tehran at DH, makes the most of his opportunity with an RBI single, and that'll get you more time. That'll get you more starts and more at-bats, especially in big spots, as he delivers here with 2 outs. So the Cougars on the board as the wind starts to pick up. Clouds starting to come in a little bit here. Tehran on the run. Matsumoto's throw from his knees, not in time, and Tehran has the stolen base. So we've mentioned in all of our broadcasts, the Cougars not known for stealing a lot of bases, but giving the opponents a little taste of their medicine here, as Tehran swipes second base with 2 outs and puts a runner in scoring position, and an opportunity for the Cougars to add another one here. 2-1 count on Garcia. Castillo comes set. And that one misses outside, and it's 3-1. And before Tehran's hit, I was saying Castillo hasn't done anything too amazing today or flashy, but what he has done well in the first 3 innings, at least up until this point, was getting ahead of hitters in the count. And that's actually been his downfall here in the 4th so far. As he misses again, and it's a free pass for Garcia. So that'll put runners at first and second for Jovan Camacho.
number 4, center fielder Jovan Camacho.
Camacho, who struck out in his first at-bat in the 3rd inning, has an opportunity here with 2 outs and 2 runners aboard against Castillo, who is looking a lot more vulnerable now than he did in his first 3 innings. First pitch to Camacho. Checks his swing, but it's a called strike anyway, 0-1. So Camacho, in a little bit of a slump, as Matt had mentioned earlier in the broadcast. But a big hit here would go a long way toward getting out of that. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and hit into left center field. Going back on it is Gill, and he'll reel it in for the final out. But the Cougars bring one across on the Turan single. At the end of 4, Wildcats 4, Cougars 1.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
And welcome back. To the top of the 5th we go. And for the Wildcats, it will be Nathan Nizaka, Jesus Sanchez, and Kai Hirschberger. 2, 3, 4 spots in the lineup for them. As Prado goes back out now for his 5th inning of work, a clean 4th inning. First pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-0. Nizaka's flown out to center and flown out to left so far today. And one of the leading hitters on this Wildcat team. Hitting .302 on the season. With 14 RBIs, he takes that one for a strike on the inside part of the plate to even things up at 1-1. Two home runs, 3 triples, and 7 doubles on the year for Nizaka. Good for a .523 slugging percentage. As he ropes this one down the right field line, but well foul and out of play. And so that'll make it 1-2. And Nizaka even better this season in conference play. In 9 games this year, a .313 average, a .500 on base percentage, and .563 slugging. One of the more dangerous hitters in this Wildcat lineup. Wastes that one away from Prado, and it remains 1-2. So Prado looking to bounce back from a 4th inning, and where some of it was self-induced thanks to the walk, but then an error from Camacho in center. As this one's hit to the left side, Mikey Kane able to get a glove on it, but by the time he reaches it, no chance to throw out Nizaka at first, and it'll be an infield single to open the 5th.
Number 23, shortstop Jesus Sanchez.
So that'll bring up Jesus Sanchez, the 3-hitter for the Wildcats, with Nazaka at first. Sanchez had an RBI double in the first inning to deliver the first run for the Wildcats of the game. He later walked in the third inning and scored a run on the RBI single from Kai Hirschberger, which at the time had made it 3-0 West Los Angeles. Comes in now with Nazaka leading from first. First pitch from Prado. Hit on the left side of the infield, but foul. 0-1. So this has been the common theme of the afternoon for Prado. Dealing with base runners, as he has allowed a leadoff base runner in 3 of the 5 innings he has pitched so far today. And he will have to do it again here to open the 5th. Zaka leads from first. 0-1 is smacked into left field for a base hit. And the Wildcats have the first 2 runners aboard in the 5th inning. And that was just a fastball left up in the zone. No problem for Sanchez, who turns on it and serves it into left field for a single. And now looks like we're going to get a visit from the pitching coach, who's going to have a chat with Prado as Scott Bauman is warming up in the Cougars bullpen. And that is Ryan Paramo, the pitching coach for the Cougars, who is out there, his arms around the catcher Garcia and around Prado as they discuss what they're going to do here. And it looks like that's going to be it for Prado, as that will wrap up his afternoon. So Prado goes 4 innings plus. Gives up 4 runs, 3 earned on 4 hits. And he's responsible for the 2 base runners at first and second. It's going to be Scott Bauman coming in to pitch when we return.
I love emergency medicine. You're there at these people's worst time of their life, and you're there to make it a little bit better.
The EMT program at COC is a 1-semester program. Over the course of it, the EMT students will learn the textbook knowledge they need, practical hands-on skills that they're going to need working out on an ambulance or in a hospital or whatever setting they decide to work.
People are constantly hiring. There's always a need for first responders. When I graduated from this program, I got a job within a month.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
And welcome back. Scott Bauman on the mound now for the Cougars, warming up. He'll come in to face Kai Hirschberger with Nathan Nakaza and Jesus Sanchez on first and second and nobody out. For Prado, 4+ innings of work. He gives up 4 runs, 3 earned on 4 hits, and he exits responsible for the 2 runners on base here in the 5th. Bauman will come in, and this will be his 10th appearance of the season. A 6.20 strikeouts per game number and an 11.31 earned run average. Been a little bit better in conference play, a 9.39 ERA. But it's been the batting average against him that has been his downfall. 387 in non-conference play and 394 in conference play. And he will be asked to escape a jam here for the Cougars as they try to keep this one close at 4-1. Wildcats opened the game with a run on 2 ringing doubles from Matsumoto and Sanchez, then scored 2 more in the 3rd before getting 1 more in a wild pitch in the 4th inning, and now threatening here again in the 5th. And so it'll be Hirschberger who steps in, the left-handed batter. 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch from Bauman, misses low and away, and it's 1-0. And for Bauman, in 24 2/3 innings pitched so far this year, 17 strikeouts. But has also walked 13 batters during that time, as he gets the swing and miss from Hirschberger to even things up at 1-1. Hirschberger had an RBI single in the 3rd inning, and he also had a stolen base, but was ultimately stranded by Danny Gill. One now here from Bauman. Big rip and a miss from Hirschberger, and Bauman gets ahead in the count 1-2. So as we mentioned, another lefty in this lineup that's full of them for West Los Angeles College. Matsumoto, Hirschberger, Gallegos, and Baldwin, all left-handed batters for West LA. I believe the only pitcher on the Cougars staff. As it's strike 3 called, Bauman gets Hirschberger looking as he dots the outside corner there with a fastball for the first out of the inning.
Number 17, center fielder Danny
As I was saying, I believe the only left-handed pitcher on the Cougars is Josh Yosfan, who has been more relied upon in later innings during games, so it might be too early to call upon him at this point in time. Regardless, Bauman with the strikeout of Hirschberger, and that'll welcome in Danny Gill, who has a pair of strikeouts in this game so far. First one brushes him back a little bit inside, and it's 1-0. So a big strikeout for Bauman there, who could use a few more now, as the Cougars are looking to put the clamps on this one. The Wildcats 4 runs to open the game. Big swing and miss from Gill. Bauman even things up at 1-1. Cougars were able to get one back in the bottom of the 4th on an RBI single from Rowan Turan. And looking to keep things that way now. Bauman looks at the runner at second, comes set. Chopper to the left side, picked up by Ambrose. His only play is to second, and they get the out there. Well, it was a high chopper to Andy Ambrose, who had to range to his left. It looked like he might have bobbled it a little bit or couldn't find it in the glove. And by the time he did, his only play was to second. And fortunate enough to throw out Jesus Sanchez there. It appears it actually might have hit off of Ambrose's chest. But conscious mind to quickly pick it up and see that he still had Sanchez between first and second and get the out there. So now 2 away with the runners at the corners, and that'll bring in Tristan Gallegos, who is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out to first. First pitch swinging, chops that one on the ground, foul. And Bauman now just an out away from getting out what was a very sticky situation here for the Cougars. The inning opened with Prado pitching. Gave up a single to Nakaza and Sanchez before striking out Kai Hirschberger. That was Bauman. And then getting a fielder's choice ground out from Danny Gill as Josh Yosfan, the lefty, gets warm in the Cougars bullpen. Bauman's 0-1. Misses, and it's even now at 1-1. Gallegos, the West Los Angeles first baseman. Another lefty stands in the box. Hands high and behind the helmet. Lays off of Bauman's offering to make it 2-1 now. Bauman coming off a difficult outing in his last against Antelope Valley, as he is nowhere close with the 2-1 pitch. It's high and away, makes it 3-1 on Gallegos. Bauman versus Antelope Valley on March 24th, just 2/3 of an inning, giving up 5 runs. As the curveball just misses off the plate, and so that'll load the bases.
Number 36, right fielder Justin Baldwin.
So Gallegos draws the walk. It moves Danny Gill to second. And Nakaza remains at third, who began the inning with a single. And so that'll welcome in Justin Baldwin, who is 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout and a ground out to the shortstop today. Bauman looking to strand these runners here. First pitch, just off the plate. Outside, and it's 1-0. And as I mentioned, Bauman struggled his last appearance, but could really right the ship here if you were able to strand these runners. One of which is inherited, and the other 2 now are his own responsibility, that being the runners at second and first. 1-0 pitch, a good breaking ball there, catches Baldwin off guard to get things even at 1-1. Baldwin hitting .313 on the year, limited playing time. This is his 10th game, and 3 RBIs. This is his 4th conference game now. And Bauman having trouble finding the strike zone now. It's 2-1. Maybe just trying to find some grip. Keeps going down to the dirt on the pitcher's mound and shaking it out in his hand. As we said, it was a rainy day here yesterday in Santa Clarita. It's still a little moist in the air. There's some wind as well. The sun's been in and out. And all the elements are at play right now. Here's the 2-1 from Bauman. Swing and a miss from Baldwin, and it's 2-2. Bauman again to the pitcher's mound to pick up some dirt, trying to maybe get some grip on that baseball. But despite the recent difficulties and the jam that he was asked to get the Cougars out of, just 1 strike away from doing so. Bauman looks in, gets the sign, and comes set at the belt. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way to Baldwin. And time is granted by the home plate umpire. Baldwin asked for that one. Baldwin actually had his hand out there calling for time for a long time. And had Bauman decided to deliver it, I think he would have been able to get that pitch in, but ultimately the ump finally said, all right. So here it is now, the 2-2 pitch on the way from Bauman. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. And Bauman comes in and gives a heavy lift to the Cougars. He strands 3 Wildcats on the base paths and keeps the score at 4-1. At the end of 4, 4-1 Wildcats.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
from the Cougars, leading off number 2, left fielder Ryan
To the bottom of the
Camacho.
5th we go. The Cougars will have the top of their lineup. Ryan Camacho, Mikey Kane, and Doyle Kane will come to the plate here. Camacho is 1 for 2 at a single in the 3rd inning. And it is Castillo back out there for West Los Angeles. His first pitch nearly hits Camacho, but he gets the called strike anyway. It's 0-1. I thought that might have even brushed up on Camacho's jersey, but apparently the home plate umpire has a better view than I do from up here. So here's the 0-1 now. Breaking ball that just misses. Didn't miss by much. And that'll even things up at 1-1. Camacho out in left field today, anchoring his brother Yovan Camacho in center. As he takes a looping breaking ball from Castillo for the 2nd strike. Camacho actually had the first hit of the afternoon for College of the Canyons, coming in the 3rd inning. 1-2 pitches in the dirt. And after Camacho's hit, Mikey Kane lined a single into left field. For a second there, looking like the Cougars had a 2-out rally going before Doyle Kane grounded out to the pitcher. 2-2 pitch, and he is rung up. Camacho caught looking on the breaking ball from Castillo for the first out of the inning.
Mikey Kane.
So here comes Mikey Kane, the future USC Trojan product. And after his hit in the 3rd inning on a 14-game hitting streak for Mikey Kane. And during that span is 25 for 61. Absolutely unconscious at the plate. And it's not just the hits, it's been his ability to draw walks as well. As we mentioned in the pregame show and in the early part of this game, 3 walks against Antelope Valley earlier this week. Finds himself ahead in the count, 2-1 against Castillo, who, other than a minor blemish in the 4th inning, has been solid today for West Los Angeles. This ball's hit in the air, deep left center field at the wall, and it's out of here. Mikey Kane with a solo shot to center field just to the left of the batter's eye. And the Cougars add another one and cut their deficit to 4-2. Mikey Kane, as we said, the future USC Trojan with his 5th home run on the season.
First baseman Doyle
Got himself
Kane.
into a hitter's count, got a 2-1 fastball over the heart of the plate and just drove that one to center field. Gill gave it some chase, but it looked like he knew it was out of here off the bat. Just to the left of the batter's eye. And the Cougars now trail 4-2. So that'll bring in brother Doyle Kane, who perhaps some sibling rivalry will try to do the same here. First pitch misses, it's 1-0. Now one comes in high and tight on Kane. Little half swing, but he didn't go around, and it's 2-0. So we'll see now if that might rattle the cage of Henry Castillo for West Los Angeles. Now back-to-back innings, he's given up a run, but that was clearly the hardest hit ball off him. As Kane skies this one on the infield, Figueroa calls for it, makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. So Castillo bounces right back and induces the pop-up from Doyle Kane. And now it'll be Steven Gonzalez who strides to the plate. Gonzalez 0 for 2 today, a couple of groundouts. Hitting cleanup today with the absence of Tafton Hensley, one of the College of the Canyons' best hitters in this lineup. As Gonzalez swings over an off-speed pitch, 0-1. Castillo's 1-0 offering a breaking ball off the plate. And that even things up at 1-1. Gonzalez in a little bit of a slump. 2 for his last 21 now. As he looks to break out of it here against Castillo, who's shown some chinks in the armor here now in the last 2 innings, as this one's roped into center field and gonna have to be played on a hop by Gill. He slides in, it gets by him and goes all the way to the wall. Gonzalez rounding second, the relay throw in, not in time. It gets away from Sanchez at short, and it's going to be a 3-bagger for Steven Gonzalez with 2 outs here in the 5th. And that ball was roped into center field. It was Danny Gill in center field who came on strong charging that ball, but almost came up slow right before it bounced. Wasn't sure if he was going to play it on one hop or go for the sliding catch, and that's what ultimately ate him up. It gets by him, rolls all the way to the center field wall, and Gonzalez ends up on third with 2 outs here for Andy Ambriz now. And the first offering from Castillo is in the dirt, nicely handled by Matsumoto to keep Gonzalez at third. But a big opportunity now here for the College of the Canyons to get another run in and maybe rattle West Los Angeles' cage a little bit here. .1-0 from Castillo is way off the plate, and it's 2-0. Mikey Kane delivered on an absolute bomb of a home run to center field to make the score 4-2. Doyle Kane popped out to the right side of the infield, and now Steven Gonzalez stands on third after the error by Gill in center. And now it's 3-0 on Andy Ambriz. Castillo nursing what is now a 2-run lead, previously was 4, and can't find the zone there. It's a 4-pitch walk for Andy Ambriz, and the Cougars have runners on the corners. So now with Gonzalez at third, Ambriz standing at first, it'll bring in Alex Ballesteros, who, other than the Mikey Kane home run just moments ago, probably had the 2 best struck balls of the day for College of the Canyons. A fly out to center field where Gill was able to reel it in at the warning track, and then another one to right field on a nice play by Baldwin, who was able to make a ranging catch to his right. But Ballesteros with nothing to show for it, despite some really good contact in both of his at-bats. And now we're going to get a mound visit from the West Los Angeles pitching coach. And looks like maybe just an opportunity to calm down Castillo. Anthony Rubio is warming in the Cougars bullpen now. Rather, West Los Angeles. And due to some of the inclement weather yesterday, it appears that West Los Angeles is actually utilizing College of the Canyons bullpen today. Maybe some mud over there in the visitor bullpen. Nice of the Cougars to do that. But in any case, it's Rubio getting loose now for West Los Angeles as Castillo looks in for his sign with runners on the corners and Ballesteros in the batter's box. First pitch from Castillo. Hit in the air on the right side of the infield. Looking for it is Figueroa, and it is the first baseman Gallegos who makes the catch, and that will retire the side. But a monstrous home run from Mikey Kane, and the Cougars cut into the deficit. It's 4-2 after 5.
College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
To the sixth inning we go. West Los Angeles will have George Eves, Isaiah Figueroa, and then the top of the lineup, Noah Matsumoto, to bat for them here. And for the Cougars, they will send Scott Bauman back out to the mound, who had a magician's act getting out of the top of the fifth inning. He inherited base runners from Albert Prado at first and second with nobody out. He was able to strike out Kai Hershberger, induce a fielder's choice ground ball from Danny Gill. He did walk Tristan Gallegos, but then settled down and struck out Justin Baldwin to strand 3 Wildcat runners on the bases and hold the lead at 4-1. It's now 4-2 after a home run from Mikey Kane in the bottom half of the fifth. And it'll be George Eves who will make his walk to the batter's box, who has struck out and been hit by a pitch so far today. He scored in the fourth inning after being hit by that pitch on what was an error from Jovan Camacho, as Eves scorches this one to the left side for a leadoff single here in the sixth inning. It was only a matter of time before Eves, who certainly holds his low center of gravity there and looks like he has some power, that he would finally get a hold of one, and he absolutely ripped that ball into left field. I think it got to Ryan Camacho on one hop out there. And in any case, it'll be a leadoff runner for the Wildcats, and that'll bring in Isaiah Figueroa, who has been on base twice today, once via the walk and then on the Jovan Camacho error in the fourth inning. He shows bunt, lays down a beauty down the first baseline. Bauman able to pick it up and make the toss to Doyle Kane at first base for the first out of the inning, but it's a successful sacrifice from Figueroa as Eves moves down to second. A bit of a lost start in today's baseball, the bunt, but for dinosaurs like myself, a welcomed sign. And that was an absolutely beautiful bunt down the first baseline, took Bauman all the way off the mound, and nearly to first base to finally pick it up, but does a good job of doing so for the first out. So that'll bring in Noah Matsumoto, who is 1 for 3 today, including a double to open the game off of Prado. First pitch swinging here. This one's lined into left center field and now gets by Camacho. He overruns it. Eves will score easily. Matsumoto thinking about third. The relay throw is offline. Recovered. The throw to third. Not in time. Matsumoto just barely sliding in under the tag, and it'll be an RBI triple for the West Los Angeles catcher.
Number 10, designated hitter, Nathan Nizaka.
And that ball was smoked into left center field. Jovan Camacho thought he had a beat on it, and it looks like he might have overrun it. It ends up bouncing behind him and all the way to the wall. Eves would score easily, and Matsumoto thinking 3 all the way, round second hard. If it was a good relay throw online, they probably would have had him, but Mikey Kane had to go pick it up off to his left. And by the time the throw got into third, it wasn't in time. And so Bauman now dealing with a little adversity. The infield is in as they'll try to prevent another run from scoring. His first pitch to Nathan Nakaza is on the outside corner for strike 1. Oh, one pitch is left high, and it's now 1-1. So Bauman, who did a great job of getting the Cougars out of the 5th inning, unable to do so here in the 6th, as he gets a called strike on Nakaza, and it's 1-2. George Eves started the inning with a hard single to left. Sacrifice bunt from Figueroa moved Eves over to second, and then a ringing double from Matsumoto into center field that ate up Jovan Camacho, and Eves would come around to score. 1-2 pitch and a beauty of a bender from Bauman as Nakaza takes strike 3 called for the second out of the inning.
Number 23, shortstop Jesus Sanchez.
And if you ever needed a strikeout, that was the time right there for Bauman. A beautiful curveball that just froze Nakaza. I think he gave up on it too early. It started out of the zone, came back in, and Nakaza knew it as he takes a walk back to the dugout. So that'll bring up Jesus Sanchez, who is 2 for 2, including a walk and a run scored this afternoon. He swings through the first pitch fastball for strike 1. 0-1 pitch from Bauman on the way. Another bender. This one misses, though, off the plate, evens things up at 1-1. A lot harder contact against Bauman here in the 6th inning as opposed to the 5th, but with an opportunity to get out of it relatively unscathed. Bauman adjusts the hat, gets his sign and comes set. 2-1 pitch on the way. Chopped on the left side. Ambrose fields it on a hop. Makes the throw across the diamond for the final out of the inning. But one run comes in on the RBI triple from Noah Matsumoto after 5.5. West Los Angeles 5, College of the Canyons 2.
I love emergency medicine. You're there at these people's worst time of their life, and you're there to make it a little bit better.
The EMT program at COC is a one-semester program. Over the course of it, the EMT students will learn the textbook knowledge they need, practical hands-on skills that they're going to need working out on an ambulance or in a hospital or whatever setting they decide to work.
People are constantly hiring. There's always a need for first responders. When I graduated from this program, I got a job within a month.
If our turkey had a resume, it would say it's 99% fat-free, filler-free, and raised without antibiotics. But our turkey already has its dream job at Jersey Mike's. Premium meat makes a sub above.
To the bottom of the 6th, College of the Canyons will send up Turan, Garcia, and Camacho, the bottom 3 in the order. Turan opened the scoring for the Cougars with an RBI single in the 4th. Takes a first pitch fastball from Castillo for a strike. And Turan, as we mentioned, has had very limited playing time this year, but made the most of his opportunity in the 4th. A 2-out RBI single that chased home Andy Ambrose for the first Cougars run. Checks his swing. They look down to the first base umpire. He says he didn't go, and it's 1-1. So the Cougars, who were looking to take advantage of what appeared to be a staggering pitching staff, have not been able to do so. Just 2 runs here through the first 5 innings. And we'll have to look to string some hits together here as Castillo, for the most part, has limited the free pass. 4 walks, rather, Yes, that's correct. 4 walks this afternoon. Done a good job of hitting his spots, and he does so again there. Fastball on the outside part of the plate, and it's even now on Duran, 2-2. Duran, the designated hitter today. And takes Castillo's 2-2 offering low and in the dirt, so that'll run things full. Outfield straight away, 3-2 pitch to Turan. Breaking ball hit on the left side, reeled in by Eves, makes the throw across the diamond for the first out of the 6th.
Number 31, catcher Alex Garcia.
So that'll bring in the catcher Alex Garcia, who is 0 for 1 with a walk this afternoon. Garcia, who's been getting a bulk of the playing time lately, with DJ Koner, who's been sidelined, perhaps due to an injury. And Garcia playing well of late. First pitch to him, breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. Castillo goes to the breaking ball, but can't find his spot, and that evens things up at 1-1. The last 4 batters in the Cougars lineup today have yielded just 2 base runners. That being the RBI single from Turan in the 4th, and then a walk from Garcia. But other than that, not a whole lot of activity from Ballesteros, Turan, Garcia, or Jovan Camacho today. Instead, it's been Mikey Kane and Andy Ambriz, each on board 2 times today, 3 times for Mikey Kane, including that home run. And so College of the Canyons will ask Garcia and Camacho to get a rally going here before getting things back to the top of the order. It's a 1-2 count to Garcia. Castillo comes set, looks in for the sign. Breaking ball just missed. And a good eye from Garcia there to lay off, and it's 2-2. Good mix of pitches today from Castillo between his breaking ball, off speed, and fastball, and done a good job of locating. It's been his recipe for success so far as he gets Garcia looking on the breaking ball. Strike 3 called.
Number 4, center fielder.
So
Jovan
Castillo sets down the
Camacho.
first 2 Cougars of the bottom of the 6th, and that'll bring in Jovan Camacho, who is 0 for 2 today. A strikeout and a fly out to the center fielder. First pitch from Castillo to Camacho. Good breaking ball for strike 1. It's been a big part of Castillo's repertoire today, keeping hitters off balance. A first pitch breaking ball there on the inside part of the plate. Not what I think Camacho was looking for there. Comes back and spikes the fastball. And that evens things up at 1-1. But he's been working quick with a good pace. It seems Mikey Kane might be the only hitter that's been able to really figure him out. Cougars with just 4 hits today. A couple of walks mixed in there. But for the most part, a relatively meek day from the College of the Canyons lineup to this point. 2-1 count on Camacho. Here's the pitch. Ooh, and it hits him right in the back. And Camacho will take first. A painful free pass for Camacho.
Number 2, left fielder Ryan Camacho.
And that'll bring in his brother, Ryan Camacho, now, with the 2-out base runner at first. And this has been a spot where Castillo's been a little more vulnerable as soon as runners get on base. Hasn't been as effective. with any of his sequences and been a little bit more wild, so perhaps being wary of base runners and holding them and playing in the back of his head. So an opportunity here for College of the Canyons. Here's the first pitch to Ryan Camacho. Jovan makes a half-hearted effort to steal second, but quickly returns to first as the first pitch is a called strike. So 0-1 on Ryan Camacho. Castillo looks in, gets his sign. This one slapped on the right side of the infield for a base hit. Jovan Camacho rounds second and will take third easily. And Ryan Camacho is on with a 2-out single. So the Camacho brothers get a little 2-out rally going here. Jovan hit by a pitch. And then Ryan Camacho with a single through the right side of the infield, setting the table for College of the Canyons' most dangerous hitter, Mikey Kane, who left the yard in the 5th inning, a solo shot to dead center field. And it's looking like that's going to be the end of the line for Henry Castillo, as the Wildcats head coach comes out and will take the ball. And that will, in fact, be it. It's going to be Rubio coming in for West Los Angeles. A solid effort from Castillo. He will leave responsible for both Camacho brothers at first and third, and it'll be Rubio when we return.
College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Anthony Rubio, the new pitcher for West Los Angeles. He'll come in and inherit runners on first and third from Henry Castillo. Luis Castillo, of course, the former Major League Baseball second baseman and current starting pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds. But in any case, that's not the Castillo we're talking about. We're talking about Henry Castillo, who will end his day with 5 2/3 innings pitched and has 2 earned runs and still responsible for the runners on first and third. For Rubio, he'll have a difficult task of getting out Mikey Kane, who, as we mentioned, has a 14-game hitting streak by virtue of his single today in the 3rd inning. And then just to add to it for good measure, a solo shot in the 5th inning that at the time had cut the West Los Angeles lead to 4-2. A big opportunity now for Kane. First pitch, swung on and hit down the left field line, but just foul. And that would have easily brought in Jovan Camacho from third and perhaps even Ryan Camacho from first. That one just a few feet foul down the left field line, and Mikey wishes he could have that one back. For Rubio this year, he's worked in 22 innings. This is his 12th appearance, an 11.45 ERA, as this one's hit in the air to center field, but Gill has a beat on it and will make the catch to end the 6th inning. So no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, but the Cougars can't get any runs across. After 6, West Los Angeles 5, College of the Canyons 2.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
The new media journalism program focuses on hands-on training for up-and-coming multimedia journalists.
We do shows every 2 weeks, and students put together their own stories. They go out and shoot them, they do the voiceover, they edit them together. It's a really, really cool hands-on experience.
If you want to dive right into the world of journalism, this is the only place to do it.
Welcome back into Cougar Field as we go back to the 7th inning here from College of the Canyon. COC trailing West Los Angeles 5-2. As Matt Robinson back with you for the final 3. It's Matt Frieda with 3 solid in middle relief, and we go back to work. Hershberger, Gill, and Gallegos due up to face Bauman here in the 7th inning. Cougars missing a golden opportunity in the 6th with 2 on, and Mikey Kane at the plate gave one a ride to center field, but just didn't quite have enough on it. So the Cougars will trail by 3 as we go to the 7th here. Hershberger 1 for 3 today. Singled, home a run back in the 3rd, stole a base, struck out and flew out to center field. First pitch swinging, fouls it away off to the left. And Bauman ahead in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Dyslexia kicking in.
Bauman with 2 solid innings of relief, really got Prado out of that jam in the 5th, and the 6th just ran into a little bit of trouble, maybe that misplay from Jovan Camacho in center, but otherwise a pretty wart-free day from Bauman so far.
Head in the count, 0-2 as he gets a swing and a miss from Hershberger. Bauman working into his 3rd inning of work today. He's gone 4. That's been his longest outing of the year, was against LA Mission in a 9-3 win on March 15th. Has gone 3. Actually, his longest is actually 4 2/3 against Allen Hancock back on February 11th. I didn't go back deep enough into the archives. As he sets down Hershberger on 3 pitches. 1 away here in the 7th. 2nd strikeout for Hershberger today, and the 4th for Bauman. Cougars have had a high strikeout game today, very rare from them. Prado had 5 through the first 3 innings. Now Bauman with 4 in the ball game. So we're talking about 9 in the ball game for College of the Canyons. As Danny Gill steps in, struck out twice and grounded into a fielder's choice 0 for 3.
Matt, how much do you think it would cost to get a statistician? Because I would love to have one of those for us.
I don't know. We don't have the funds for that.
Come on.
Hey, I got it right. 9.
You got it right. In my head, it was wrong at first, but now I double-checked it and we're here. So yes, 9 strikeouts.
I keep a running tally. I just had to go back and find out how many Prado had. I think we're a long ways away from a statistician. Let's get some multi-cameras first before we go there.
That's a good plan.
There's 1 down here in the 7th. No, or 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Danny Gill. So he said Gill struck out twice when he faced Prado, grounded into a fielder's choice back in the 5th. And he strikes out on 4 pitches here on Bauman, back-to-back strikeouts. 10th strikeout of the game for the Cougars. 2 away here in the 7th inning.
Bauman doing a really good job mixing in that breaking ball. It's got a lot of bite on it today. Got Gill to just swing over that one.
And this is big for the Cougars if Bauman can go a little deeper here and keep them kind of close in the ball game. Yeah, they trailed by 3, gave up a run after they got it back within 2, but to keep them in the ball game and eat up some innings here for College of the Canyons, it helps as you go deeper into the series against West LA, especially considering Henry Castillo with 6 solid innings of work, or 5 2/3 solid innings of work before running into some trouble in the 6th, his longest outing of the year. Bauman falls behind in the count here to Gallegos, 2 balls and no strikes. Dyslexia is really kicking in right now for whatever
Matt,
reason.
and being able to keep Xavier Stoker off the mound today would be huge, and being able to save him for a later game in this series, or maybe even the next 2, would be a huge boost to the Cougars.
That one over for a strike, makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. Gallegos 0 for 2 with a walk. The only reason you'd like to see Stoker today is if you're in the lead and trying to close something out in the 9th inning. Cougars starting to run out of time as we are in the 7th. Just 3 more at-bats for COC. So that one misses down and in. 3 balls and 1 strike to count to Gallegos. Tristan, the first baseman. He's had a rough day at the plate, but been good in the field as he works his second walk of the day, so evens things out. 0 for 2 with 2 walks. A runner aboard with 2 away here for West LA in the 7th inning.
And this has been the bugaboo for College of the Canyons today, Matt. The 2-out base runners. They had a couple runs come in on them in the 3rd inning as well as in the 5th inning with 2 outs. And so the Cougars really going to have to bear down here and prevent any more from coming in now.
Baldwin 0 for 3, a pair of strikeouts and a ground ball to the shortstop. Hitting with 2 away, takes the first pitch for a called strike. Hasn't done much of the plate today, but did make a nice play out in right field early in their ball game, taking away extra bases from, I think it was Ballesteros. Right, second at bat of the ball game. Trying to get to work here with 2 away and a runner on. Swings over a fastball, good pitch from Bauman, makes it 0-2.
Yeah, Matt, and West Los Angeles is a free swinging team. They have the green light on just about any pitch and any count.
Snowball's 2 strikes. Gallegos away from first. Bauman trying to get the Cougars back into the dugout to hit. With 2 down. Breaking ball, they say goes. Strike 3, so Bauman strikes out the side with a walk sandwich between the 2nd and the 3rd out. 6 strikeouts now for Bauman. 11 in the game for College of the Canyons, but they trail by 3. Stretch time here from Cougar Field. 5-2 in favor of West LA.
COC's Fire Technology program goes beyond putting out fires.
Our goal here is to provide our students with a competitive advantage in the hiring process.
It was life-changing for me, and it's exactly what I want to do. It's exactly where I want to be, and it's outside of my comfort zone, and it will be outside of your comfort zone, but you just got to do it. You just got to go all in and just full send and do it.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Rubio stays back out for the 7th inning as the Cougars will send the heart of the order in Doyle Kane, Steven Gonzalez, and Andy Ambrose to the plate in the 7th, trailing by 3. So far in the ballgame, COC has left 9 runners on. He's left 2 runners on in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 6th innings so far. So 8 in the last 4 innings, Matt. And that's really the difference in the ballgame. Cougars have had their opportunities, just haven't been able to drive anybody in.
Yeah, Matt, haven't been able to deliver here in the big situations. And Castillo definitely looked like he was, starting to show like some signs of
a little wear and tear, maybe.
Wear and tear there, especially with runners on base. Wasn't locating as well, and the Cougars just couldn't take advantage of it.
It'll be Doyle Kane, who's 0 for 3 today to lead things off. Doyle, who, as we featured in the pregame show, had a hot series against Antelope Valley, but struggling here today, has just not been able to make solid contact. As he popped out to right, popped out to the second baseman, and grounded back to the pitcher. That ground ball back to the pitcher in the 3rd with 2 runners on and 2 away, ended the inning. One of the chances the Cougars have had to try and drive in some runs. This one hit on the ground towards 3rd, and it eats up Eves, gets off his glove and out into left field. So Kane on as Eves can't clean up a ground ball, and the leadoff runner aboard for the Cougars here in the 7th inning.
Tough play for Eves, no matter how you spin it. That ball was hit hard, and I think it got to him on the 2nd hop. Did everything right, tried to get in front of it. He did actually wear it off the chest, but it went past him and into left field.
So Kane reaches on the air, and Steven Gonzalez, who tripled, maybe a sign he's coming out of this mini slump that he was in, was 0 for his last 7 coming into the ball game today. This is 0 for 9 before that triple. Stepping in now, and the Cougars would certainly like another extra base hit from Steven right now with a runner on first and nobody out. Takes a called strike and is behind the count, 0-1. Doyle has not stolen a base yet this year. Likely the Cougars will keep him at first base. Don't want to give away outs here as Gonzalez takes a strike and is behind the count, 0-2. Gonzalez had 2 home runs back on March 8th against LA Valley College in a 10-3 Cougar win. Went 3 for 5 in that game. This one gets back to the screen, and Doyle King going to move up to second base on a wild pitch from Rubio. So now the Cougars with a runner in scoring position, and Even more, you'd love to see a extra base hit from Steven Gonzalez, trade places, and get the train rolling here in the 7th inning. That game against LA Valley on March 8th for Gonzalez had 4 RBIs in that ball game, 3 for 5. This is his best game at the plate this season. He's had a number of 2-hit games, but that was his only 3-hit game of the year. As he fouls that one back to the screen, got just enough, and stays alive at 1-2.
Yeah, Madden, his hit to center field in the 5th inning was, 5th inning was well struck and ended up eating up Danny Gill out there in center field, turned into a triple, but looked like he might be getting out of this slump.
So he hits this one hard in the air to right field. Baldwin with a late break on it. It's not going to get there. It goes off the top of the wall. Kane had to hold up at second base. They're going to hold him at third as they don't want to run themselves out of an inning. So the Cougars, with an error and then a double from Steven Gonzalez, have runners on second and third here in the 7th inning, and Andy Ambrose coming into the plate.
And Matt, that one nearly got out of here. The wind maybe knocked it down. It's not really blowing too much right now, but that ball was hit well and off the top of the right field wall, just maybe 3 feet away from being a 2-run jack for Gonzalez.
Baldwin got a late break on it. Might have had a play on it had he gotten a good break, but he did not move initially off the bat, almost as though the sun kind of got in his eyes and he couldn't find the baseball.
And unfortunately for Doyle Kane, who's thinking about tagging from second to third, had to wait up close to second base as opposed to being able to be halfway between second and third and scoring. So he just ends up having to settle at third base.
It's okay. It'll bring in Andy Ambrose. He's walked twice and hit a one-hopper to the shortstop Sanchez that took away what would have been a base hit had he hit it pretty much anywhere else on the field. You'd like to see him hit one hard here right now, and the count is 1-1. Ambrose has been seeing the ball very well as of late, riding a 4-game hitting streak, trying to extend it to 5. Has hits in 14 of his last 15. Is 20 for 58 during that time, so just under 350. He's reached safely in 16 straight as he hits that one on the ground towards the shortstop Sanchez. That'll bring a runner home. An RBI ground out for Ambrose, and the Cougars get 1 here in the 7th inning and cut the lead back to 2 on the RBI ground ball from Andy Ambrose.
Well, Matt, a good job by Ambrose there. We talked about it in the open of the broadcast that the Cougars have been the victim of striking out in big opportunities with runners on base. Good job of just putting the ball in play there and bring home the run.
Gets one across and brings in Ballesteros, who's 0 for 3 today. Alex had a grand slam against Antelope Valley College the other day in the Cougars win here at Cougar Field on Saturday, and would certainly like to see Ballesteros, get a hold of one, riding a 10-game hitting streak right now. Had a couple of balls he hit pretty hard in the ball game. Had one out to center field that was just a step off the wall. Another ball out to right that was taken away of extra bases by Baldwin. Certainly like to have him hit one hard here with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Has the hitters count to do it at 2-1. Ballesteros had a little bit of trouble over the last couple of weeks as he hits that one hard right at the second baseman. A sliding play by Figueroa to rob Ballesteros of a base hit, and 2 away here in the 7th inning.
Hang with him. Well hit ball. It's been the story of the day for Ballesteros. Hitting the ball on the screws just right where the defenders are. And now a 3rd one to show for it with nothing.
Gonna bring in Rowan Turan, who had an RBI single back in the 4th inning, trying to pick up Steven Gonzalez out at second base. Cougars, as we said, have left 9 runners on in the ball game. That's maybe why they don't have a little bit more than 3 right now. 3 runs on 7 hits and an error in the ball game for COC. 5 runs on 7 hits for West Los Angeles College in the ball game as we're in the 7th.
College of the Canyons fortunate not to be run out of that inning. Good base running by Steven Gonzalez at second to freeze on that line drive and not to be too far off the bag and doubled up.
So this one over for a called strike on Turan. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Rowan. Good little outing in this start today. As we said, just his 5th start of the season, but 1 for 3 with an RBI. The DH spot today takes that pitch away. Makes it 2-1. For Ballesteros, I'm not sure he'll get back up, so likely will snap a 10-game hitting streak. So he said in his previous, has not struck out in the last 3 games, had a little bit of trouble, had 10 strikeouts in his previous 8 games, including 6 straight games, but has cleaned things up and is hitting the ball hard today, just being robbed a little bit. Duran swinging through a breaking ball, evens the count at 2-2. And now Rubio trying to get away with just giving up 1 after a leadoff error and a double out to right field. Gets Duran to ground softly towards Figueroa, who scoops it up and fires to first, and that'll end the inning. Cougars pick up 1 on an RBI ground out from Andy Ambrose, but that's it. We head to the 8th inning. It's a 2-run ball game, 5-3 in favor of West LA.
Here at IQ, which stands for Institute for Culinary Education at College of the Canyons, we offer 3 certificates: a baking and pastry certificate, a culinary arts certificate, and a wine studies certificate, as well as an associate's degree in the culinary arts. We are an accelerated program, so you can finish between a year and a year and a half. We create a culinary community here at College of the Canyons.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Bauman back out here for the 8th inning as he'll face Eves, Figueroa, and Matsumoto, the scheduled hitters for West Los Angeles. In a 2-run ball game, 5-3 in favor of West LA. Cougars picking 1 back up in the 7th inning on the RBI ground out for Andy Ambrose, but left another runner on. And so far in the ball game, Matt, COC has left 10 runners on base, and certainly have had their chances, runners in scoring position over the last 5 innings, and have only been able to pick up a couple of runs.
Yeah, Matt, tough day not being able to capitalize on those opportunities, especially against a pitching staff that we've said ad nauseum here really has done a bad job of holding their opponents. I mean, have given up 28 runs in one of their more recent games. So a failed opportunity, missed opportunity here for College of the Canyons so far.
So you ask Bauman to get Eves, Figueroa, and Matsumoto and get you back in to hit. This is the 4th inning of work for Bauman. Came in relief in the 5th with nobody out and 2 runners on. Didn't give up any runs as he is able to close the book for Prado, who went 4+ and gave up 4 runs in the ball game. Bauman with, Prado with a nice game, had 5 strikeouts, just a pair of walks. Bauman so far with 6 strikeouts. The Cougars high on the strikeout number today, which is rare for COC, not a high strikeout team on the rubber. This ball hit right back up the middle, a leadoff single for Eves. His 2nd hit of the ball game. And West LA starts off the 8th inning with a base runner.
Number 7, second baseman Isaiah Figueroa.
And Eves, after his strikeout in the 2nd, on base 3 times today. 2 hard-struck singles in his last 2 at-bats.
Brings up Figueroa, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Brought home a run on an errant play out in center field by Jovan Camacho on a fly ball that he just could not handle. It was a long run, got a glove on it, just couldn't haul it in. And I think the sun might have played a factor, but he was charged with an error. West LA will bunt this one up the first base line. It'll stay in fair territory, and Bauman forced to tag Figueroa. So the 2nd time today, Figueroa with the sacrifice bunt actually is 0 for 1. And Bauman, the only one that could really make that play. It took a weird hop as it bounced on the foul line. Maybe he hit a dirt clump or something and stayed in fair territory. And just 2nd time today we've seen Figueroa with a nearly perfect bunt down the first base line.
Yeah, that was about as good as it gets, straddling the line in between the dirt and the edge of the grass there. Really good bunt from Figueroa. Only play was for Bauman to go pick it up.
Brings up Matsumoto, who drove in a run in the 6th on the same script last time against Bauman. It was a single from Eves, a sacrifice bunt from Figueroa. And Matsumoto had a triple back in the 6th inning that brought home a run. Matsumoto 2 for 4 with 2 extra base hits in the ball game. Trying to regain a 3-run lead here for West LA in the 8th inning. Eves out there at second base. Bauman behind in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball misses down, makes it 2-0. Cougars going to stay with Bauman right now. Nobody working in the bullpen. I would imagine, since we've seen Josh Yosfan already up once, probably see him up again. It's 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out with a runner on second base here in the 8th inning in a 5-3 ball game. Bauman delivers, and Matsumoto with a big cut on 2-0, swings and misses. We've said it a lot today, Matt. West LA not afraid to swing the bats. And that's a prime example right there with Matsumoto. A huge hack on 2-0, trying to hit something hard somewhere.
And now let's see what Bauman does if he comes back with a breaking ball, tries to throw Matsumoto off balance here.
It's 2-1 down in the dirt, missed on a fastball, makes it 3 balls and 1 strike. Xavier Stoker running down the line in left field, getting loose for College of the Canyons. So seems as though we might see Stoker now in a 2-run ball game to try and hold things where they are, should Bauman get in more trouble. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Matsumoto, with Nakaza waiting on deck. Good pitch from Bauman that time. Little late movement on the fastball gets Matsumoto to swing over it. And the count now full at 3-2 with 1 away and a runner on second base here in the 8th inning.
I love that pitch from Bauman, not giving in to Matsumoto, who's proven to be a dangerous hitter today. That was Bauman's pitch. Nice high fastball with some late life to it. Gets Matsumoto to swing through it and run the count full.
So the payoff pitch with 1 away, misses away, and Matsumoto works a walk. So now runners on first and second for West LA with 1 away. Puts the double play ball back in order for the Cougars. And Nakaza, who's 1 for 3 with a pair of flyouts, a strikeout, and a single, stepping to the plate.
Number 10, designated hitter, Nathan Nakaza.
Nakaza came into the game hitting .302. He's dropped a little bit below 300 after the 1 for 4 performance so far. So he'll face Bauman for the 2nd time today. Struck out last time he faced him. It's the first pitch from Bauman. Ooh, that looked really good. Must have just missed down. It certainly looked like it caught the outside corner of the plate. But he's behind in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Another pitch that just misses outside. That one a little further off the plate. Garcia trying to spin it back with his glove a little bit to get the umpire to give him a call, but could not. So Bauman again behind 2-0. Fell behind 2-0 to Matsumoto, eventually walked him. Needs another big pitch right now. Infield at double play depth for the Cougars. Outfield shallow and straight away. Trying to maybe take away a run at the plate, with Eves out at second base as that one just misses. Looked like the same spot as the first pitch of the at-bat. And Bauman way behind and in danger of walking the bases loaded. Is Garcia going to go out and have a chat with him?
And Bauman, unfortunately, has dug himself into a bit of a hole here, especially now with Nakaza and then the 3-hitter Sanchez and cleanup hitter Hertzberger due up next. Really going to have to find a way to get out of it now.
So 3 balls, no strikes. 1 out and 2 on. Nakaza at the plate. Swings at a 3-0 pitch. Gets Bauman back in the count. Interesting, Nakaza chooses to swing at that one. Looked it down. Maybe chase something out of the zone and gives Bauman a strike.
And, you know, that might have been part of the conversation Garcia just had with Bauman. Hey, this is a free swinging team. They have a green light all the time. Let's see if we could sneak one by him, get him to bite.
Bauman comes with a 3-1 right down the heart of the plate for a strike with a fastball. And it's just straight heat right now from Bauman. So we go back to a 3-2 count with one away and runners on first and second.
Good pitch and good fight from Bauman to get back into this at-bat here.
Payoff pitch once again upcoming. Runners with decent sized leads, especially at first base from Matsumoto. The 3-2 pitch fouled off to the left. We'll do it again. It's interesting, the Cougars not holding Matsumoto on right now with the left-handed hitting Nakaza at the plate. Doyle Kane instead playing back on the infield, almost at the outfield grass. And that's allowed Matsumoto to get way out beyond the cutout right now. And it kind of takes away that double play on a ball that's not hit right up the middle to either Ballesteros or Kane. Matsumoto way off first right now. 3-2 pitch, hit right back up the middle for a base hit. Camacho charging will scoop it up. Eves will stay at third base. So everybody moves up 90 feet station to station. A one-out single for Nakaza. And the base is now loaded full of Wildcats here in the 8th inning.
Number 23, shortstop Jesus Sanchez.
Well, for Bauman, good job of getting back into that at-bat. Started at 3-0, worked it to 3-2, ultimately gives up the hit. Just got to tip the cap to Nakaza.
That might be the end of the day for Bauman. Chris Cota heading out, pops his head out of the dugout. Scoops some dirt back onto the pitcher's mound. Takes the ball from Scott Bauman, and that'll bring in Xavier Stoker here in the 8th inning. So Bauman goes the full 5th. Gives up a run in the 6th. Strikes out the side in the 7th, and gives up a couple of singles and a walk here in the 8th. So 3 1/3 with 3 inherited runners as Xavier Stoker will take over when we come back here from Cougar Field. College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
I love emergency medicine. You're there at these people's worst time of their life, and you're there to make it a little bit better.
The EMT program at COC is a one-semester program. Over the course of it, the EMT students will learn the textbook knowledge they need, practical hands-on skills that they're going to need working out on an ambulance or in a hospital or whatever setting they decide to work.
People are constantly hiring. There's always a need for first responders. When I graduated from this program, I got a job within a month.
So Xavier Stoker will take over for Scott Bauman here in the 8th inning with 3 inherited runners. Cougars trailing by a pair, 5-3 in favor of West LA. For Bauman goes 3 1/3, gives up 6 hits, struck out 6, walked 3. Has given up just a run so far, but all 3 out there are his responsibility. And now you press Xavier Stoker back into work. This will be Stoker's 17th appearance of the year. He's only pitched 20 innings this season. Has given up 25 hits, 25 runs, just 20 of those earned, with 16 walks and 16 strikeouts. But has been the go-to arm late in the game for College of the Canyons, and now you press him into service, asking him to get 2 outs with the bases loaded.
Yeah, Matt, and this is a similar situation to what happened last Tuesday against Antelope Valley. Xavier Stoker was asked to come in the top of the 10th inning and inherited some base runners, and unfortunately wasn't able to get the job done there. A couple of walks, a couple pass balls that ultimately hurt the Cougars in the end. But looking for a different result here. One simple ground ball could put an end to this inning really quickly.
They're actually going to pause for a second here. Stoker actually had his COVID wristband on. Players getting COVID checks before the game. And it was a bright orange wristband still on his left hand. Had home plate umpire actually stop to make him take it off. What's good to see that the wristbands are that bright. They're working that well. And Stoker, with the bases loaded, will face Sanchez, who's 2 for 3 with a double and a run batted in. As he swings and fouls the first pitch straight back. And Stoker, with a good first pitch, gets ahead in the count, 0-1. Sanchez had the double back in the first that drove in Matsumoto. Singled but was cut down at second base in the 5th. Walked and scored a run in the 3rd. Grounded to Ambrose his last time up. Cougars would certainly like to see something like that once again. Corners are in to cut down the run at the plate as this one fouled off to the right, and it's 0-2. Good breaking ball that time from Stoker.
Yeah, good job getting ahead in this count here. Being asked to nearly be perfect, coming in with the bases loaded and just 1 out. You couldn't ask for a better start to this at-bat than 2 foul balls there from Sanchez.
So wait on the 0-2. So we said the corners in at the cutouts, try and cut down the run at the plate. Middle infield back in double play depth. So pitch down in the dirt. Blocked by Garcia. Good job by Garcia to keep that one in front. Keeps the runners in their place. Stoker 5 wild pitches on the year. Important to note with a runner at 3rd. So West LA already has a run on the ball game off a wild pitch after a pair of walks by the Cougars back in the 3rd inning. So we wait on the 1-2 pitch. Stoker again misses low, trying to get Sanchez to chase a fastball. Instead, the count even at 2-2.
2 good takes there from Sanchez. The first one, a good breaking ball from Stoker in the dirt. That one, not as appealing, but still 2 really tough takes for Sanchez. Good job by him there.
So wait on the 2-2. Bases juiced full of West LA Wildcats. The 2-2 pitch, ooh, just missed down. And the count now full. Another good take from Sanchez. Cougars bench thought they had strike 3. West LA bench was fired up as he got the take. And so with 1 away, the base is loaded. See how aggressive West LA lets Sanchez be. 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Good pitch by Stoker. Little late movement on maybe a slider to get him to sit down on strikes.
Number 14, left fielder Kai Hershberger.
So 2 down now as Sanchez down on strikes. It's a big pitch from Stoker. And he'll face Hershberger here, who's 1 for 4 actually, with a pair of strikeouts in the ballgame. Did drive home a run back in the 3rd. Swings and lifts the first pitch in the air, down the left field line. Long run for Camacho, and he's not going to get there. That ball's still very much in play. Foul ground here at Cougar Field, especially down the left field line. The bullpen's in play, lots of room, and that's a long run for Camacho. Just couldn't get there, was maybe a half step away.
Yeah, and was coming up on the pitcher's mound with that bullpen over there and would have made for a tricky play to have to navigate the elevation of the pitcher's mound out there. Good effort from Camacho, but like you said, a ton of foul territory in play here at Cougar Field.
As we wait on the 0-1 now from Stoker, as he's part of the way there, got the first out he needed. And is ahead in the count here against Hershberger with a strike on him. This one hit in the air down the left field line once again. Camacho giving chase but won't get there. And it's 0-2. So another good pitch from Stoker as he gets Hershberger to just foul one away. Both down the left field line, and now with 0-2. Good pitch here, gets you out of the jam. This one hit right on the ground towards Doyle Kane. He'll scoop it up and run over to first. Stoker gets the Cougars out of the jam. West LA leaves the bases loaded here in the 8th. It's still a 2-run ball game, 5-3. as we go to the bottom half here from Cougar Field.
I love emergency medicine. You're there at these people's worst time of their life, and you're there to make it a little bit better.
The EMT program at COC is a one-semester program. Over the course of it, the EMT students will learn the textbook knowledge they need, practical hands-on skills that they're going to need working out on an ambulance or in a hospital or whatever setting they decide to work.
People are constantly hiring. There's always a need for first responders. When I graduated from this program, I got a job within a month.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Rubio still out there going into the 8th inning. Cougars will send Garcia, Jovan Camacho, and Ryan Camacho, the scheduled hitters, here in the 8th. Trailing by a pair.
Cougars, number 31, catcher Alex Garcia.
And now, Matt, the goal, really base runners for COC. Got to have runners on base. Got to have a chance to try and pick up some runs. But you're down to your final 6 outs in a 2-run ball game.
And unfortunately, as we talked about, the Cougars have had their opportunities today. College of Canyon has had multiple base runners on in most of these innings, just haven't been able to cash in on those opportunities.
Both teams have had chances. COC has left 11 base runners on, or 10 base runners on. West LA has left 11 after leaving the bases loaded in the 8th inning. So Garcia takes the first pitch away. 1 ball and no strikes. Being on 5:15 in the afternoon as that one hits Garcia right in the back. And so the leadoff runner aboard here in the bottom half of the 8th. And you'll take him any way you can get him right now with the runner on. Now Jovan Camacho, who was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning, steps in.
Painful way to get on base, but like you said, Matt, you take any way to get base runners on late in the game.
You take 4 of those, 5 of those right now to tie the game. It doesn't matter how you do it, just got to get it done. It's the first pitch to Camacho in for a strike. Jovan fighting things a bit at the plate right now. Just one for his last 10 as a chopper towards the shortstop. Sanchez only play at first, not going to get there. It's an infield single for Camacho, as that's a tough play for Sanchez, ranging to his right to try and pick it up on the backhand on a slow chopper and throw it over. Camacho, plenty of speed. An infield hit, so make it 2 for his last 11. And it'll bring his brother Ryan Camacho to the plate with 2 runners on and nobody out here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, Matt, I was a little surprised that Sanchez actually opted to throw across the diamond to first as opposed to trying to get the out at second base. It looked like Figueroa was there to cover second base, and they might have had a chance to cut down Garcia there, but instead Sanchez opting to throw it all the way across the diamond, and even with an online throw, probably had no chance of throwing out Camacho there.
Yeah, good play by Gallegos to keep it from rolling back to the bullpen and getting 2 runners in scoring position for the Cougars. Instead, it's Camacho here. We'll see if they opt to have him bunt. No, he'll try and take the first pitch, and it hits him on the hip. And Camacho going to go down to first base. So Alex Garcia gets hit to start the inning. Ryan Camacho takes one off the hip off the first pitch from Rubio. And the Cougars now with the bases loaded here in the 8th inning. And just the man you want at the plate right now with 3 on in Mikey Kane, who has a solo home run and a single in the ballgame. Kane has hit the ball hard all over the field so far today. It's only out a fly ball to center field to end the 6th on a ball he hit sharply that Gill made a nice play on. And now a chance to hit with the bases loaded here.
Yeah, Madden, you couldn't ask for a better opportunity if you're College of the Canyons here. Bases loaded, nobody out, trailing by 2 here in the 8th with your best hitter at the plate. Has already went yard once today. They'd love to get one of those again, but I think they'd settle for just about anything that brings in a few runs right now.
First pitch to Kane missed away. 1-0 pitch, off-speed pitch for a strike. Makes it 1-1. Second time today, Kane facing Rubio. Rubio got him to end the 6th inning with the Cougars with a runner on. Gets him to tip that one off into the glove of the catcher. Matsumoto makes it 1-2. That's a good pitch that time from Rubio. A little late break on a fastball that just cuts in on Kane's hands. So 1-2 count here to Mikey Kane. The bases loaded, full of Cougars in the 8th, trailing by a couple. This one on the ground towards the third baseman. Eves dropped the baseball and then throws it away. The Cougars get one. Or actually, they got the out at third. They're going to try and score Ryan Camacho, and he's going to score, and we have tied the ball game here in the 8th inning at 5-all. I didn't realize Eves stepped on the bag at third to cut down Jovan Camacho, but then threw it away trying to get Mikey Kane at first. And you'll take him any way you can get him. Does the job, 2 runs across.
Yeah, Matt, how I saw it, Eves picked that ball up, tagged actually the base runner between second and third. That would be Jovan Camacho for that out. Then tried to convert the double play on the throw to first. It was an errant one, went up the line and into the bullpen for West Los Angeles. So Mikey Kane goes to second and 2 runs come across to tie the game.
Thank you. I'm glad you saw it, Matt. I had kind of looked down, didn't quite see what happened. The Cougars get 2 off the 2 hit batters, and then the first pitch, or the second pitch to Doyle Kane, lined into the glove of Sanchez, who has been active out at short, takes away a base hit from Doyle Kane. And 2 down here in the 8th inning.
Number 32, right fielder Steven Gonzalez.
So the Cougars got 2 off just an innocent ground ball from Mikey Kane, and have tied the game here at 5. And now Steven Gonzalez, who's got extra base hits in his last 2 at-bats, stepping in.
And we mentioned at the open of this broadcast, Matt, that Steven Gonzalez came into the game with a bit of a slump. What an opportunity here with the game-winning run on second base to really break out of that.
As he swings through a pitch on the inside, makes it 0-2. Go-ahead run out at second base for the Cougars. As this one hit right back up the middle. That'll get down for a base hit into left or to right center field. Kane gonna score from second base, and the Cougars have taken a 6-5 lead here in the 8th inning on an RBI hit from Steven Gonzalez, his 3rd hit of the ball game.
Good piece of hitting there, Matt. Just goes with the pitch on the outside part of the plate, just flicks it into right center field. Didn't hit it very hard, but you didn't have to. Just a well-placed single. Mikey Kane comes around to score with the go-ahead run, and Steven Gonzalez has got to be feeling really good on first base now.
3 for 5 today with a single, a double, and a triple, just a home run away from the cycle. And now Andy Ambrose, who's going to try and stretch his hitting streak with Steven Gonzalez at first and 2 away. Ambrose 0 for 2. Has walked a couple of times, scored in the 4th. Trying to get himself another hit here as that one misses down. Rubio, the guy right now for West Los Angeles. Looks like they might have a body up in their bullpen now. Can't quite tell who it is. Cougars with 2 arms up in the bullpen. One of them looks like it's Josh Yosfan. Can't see who the other is. She'd like to add some on here as that one nearly hits Ambrose inside. He just kind of slides out of the way. And it's 3 balls and no strikes here to Andy Ambrose, who's already walked twice in the ball game. And another dangerous hitter waiting on deck, and Alex Ballesteros, who's hit the ball hard all over the field today, just doesn't have anything to show for it. There's a 4-pitch walk to Ambrose, so a 2-out walk puts runners on first and second base. Cougars with a 6-5 lead. West LA sending some bodies over real fast to get loose right now. Sprinting over to the COC bullpen was Nick Villa, actually, I should say, the freshman out of Culver City. Trying to get himself warmed up.
Well, Matt, as we said, Ballesteros has hit the ball hard all over the yard today, just with nothing to show for it. His second inning fly out to center field went to the warning track, hit a ball in the right center field gap that Baldwin tracked down, and then a line drive to the second baseman, Figueroa, back in the 7th inning. Great opportunity here for him to bust out and get a couple insurance runs for College of the Canyons.
He's certainly seeing the ball. It looks like a beach ball for him right now. Just does not have anything to show for it. Takes the first pitch up. 2 runners on, 2 away. A 1-run lead, 6-5. And if you're COC, she said certainly would like to add a few here. if you can. Give your pitchers a little bit more breathing room going into the ninth. That one over for a strike to Ballesteros, makes it 1-1. Alex has played in every game so far this year for COC. This is 25th game of the season. 0 for 4 today. 17 for his last 46, just under 400 during this 10-game hitting streak now. Trying to make it 11, as a base hit would likely bring home Gonzalez from second base. Gonzalez at second base. Forgot to score Mikey Kane on my score sheet here, so confused myself.
Matt, pretty interesting. Take a look. Rubio is a side armor, nearly a submariner. He almost comes into a full split when he completes his pitch. And you can actually see on the right side of the mound, the left side from our vantage point, where his foot is landing, and it's completely dug up there in the dirt from his landing spot with his right foot every time.
So 3-1 pitch nearly hits Ballesteros, and he walks. So likely will be the end of the hitting streak for Alex Ballesteros now. We didn't think he'd get up again, but he's going to get up and walk. Reaches base for the first time today, and the base is loaded full of Cougars once again with 2 away. And Rowan Turan coming to the plate. Turan 1 for 4 today, and you'd certainly like to see another base hit from the young man who picked up just his second hit of the season in the 4th inning. You'd like to see his third and pick up his second, maybe third RBIs of the year and of the game. As he takes the first pitch for a strike, and a good pitch from Rubio makes it 0-1. Turan softly hit towards the third base bag, picked up by the third baseman, and that will end the inning. But the Cougars get what they need. They pick up 3, in part off a Mikey Kane ground ball that scored a couple, and then an RBI hit from Steven Gonzalez to put COC into a 6-5 lead. We head to the 9th. Looks like Xavier Stoker headed back out. We'll bring it to you here in just a moment from Cougar Field.
College of the Canyons wants you to get ready, reset, and go when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougar Athletics programs offer a great college experience. Get ready, reset, and go at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
So it'll be Gill, Gallegos, and Baldwin to face Stoker here in the 9th in a 1-run ball game. Right now, Stoker would be in line for the W should he be able to hold on here. As Gill 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, fouls the first pitch off to the right. So has the hat trick, trying to avoid the golden sombrero. Right, that's 4 strikeouts in a ball game?
That's correct. Platinum sombrero for 5.
I didn't know what 5 was. He's not going to get there, I don't think.
Not without extra innings, it doesn't look like.
No. Who knows if he'll even get to 4 here as he takes that pitch down. Evens the count at 1-1. This has been a rough day for Danny Gill, at least at the plate. It's been good in the field, though. He's taken away a couple of base hits from a few of the Cougars. Like to get something started for West LA here in the 9th in a 6-5 ball game. West LA led the whole way. Scored in the first, had a 5-3 lead going into the 8th, but the Cougars with 3 in the 8th inning have taken a 6-5 lead. As Stoker ahead in the count, 1-2. This one popped up foul and out of play. So we'll do it again on the 1-2 pitch. Yosfan out in the bullpen getting loose for COC. Stoker delivers a 1-2 pitch. Lifted in the air, playable in shallow center field. Going to be a tough play, and Jovan Camacho going to call off the infielders and make the catch for the first out here in the 9th inning.
Nice play by Camacho there, calling off the middle infielders, Mikey Kane and Ballesteros. It's a much easier play for the center fielder coming in than it is for Mikey Kane or Ballesteros going out and trying to locate the ball after they finally got out to the spot.
Here comes Chris Cota, pops his head out of the dugout. They're going to go talk to Xavier Stoker, and I wonder if Josh Yosfan going to come in here to face Tristan Gallegos, the lefty. And I think that's going to be it for Stoker. So Stoker gets the big outs in the 8th inning with the bases loaded, goes a full inning, and will leave as Josh Yosfan will take over here in the 9th with one away in a one-run ball game when we come back.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
COC's Fire Technology program goes beyond putting out fires.
Our goal here is to provide our students with a competitive advantage in the hiring process.
It was life-changing for me, and it's exactly what I want to do. It's exactly where I want to be, and it's outside of my comfort zone, and it will be outside of your comfort zone, but you just got to do it. You just got to go all in and just full send and do it.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Josh Yosfan going to take over here in the 9th inning. Yosfan this year, 33 2/3 innings pitched. This will be his 14th appearance of the season. Is 3-2. He's given up 31 hits, 19 runs, 16 of them earned, walked 10, and struck out 28. As he was scheduled to face Tristan Gallegos, but it seems as though West LA going to hit for Gallegos, and they will with Juan Jacobo. So Jacobo here, 172 hitter on the season, 5 for 29, but hits from the right side. Will face Yosfan with one away here in the 9th inning. Fouls the first pitch back.
And we mentioned it all game, free swinging team. Both of the first two batters here in the top of the 9th for West LA swinging at the first pitch.
As he swings through the 0-1 pitch, it's behind in the count, 0-2. Good pitch from Yosfan. Josh has been a reliable hand with a 4.28 ERA and 32 2/3 innings pitched. 28 strikeouts, just 10 walks, make it 29 as he sets him down on 3 pitches, and West LA down to their final out. 2 away here in the 9th inning. As Justin Baldwin, the scheduled hitter now, the right fielder, but it looks like they'll hit for him as well, as they opt to not let the lefties face Yosfan, who's been very tough against lefties this year. Instead, they'll
batting for Baldwin. Number 9, Dean Kivitz.
Bring Dean Keys in. So the first pitch to Keys over for a strike. So Yosvan just pumping the zone with fastballs right now. Keys 2 for 6 on the year, batting .333, and West LA down to their final strike now as Yosvan coming with heat here in the 9th. And working quickly. First pitch that misses the zone, but just straight fastballs right now, Matt. Not changing anything, not being deceptive, just coming to the zone.
Yeah, Yosvan thinks he can just beat them with his fastball here, just power it by them, and so far it's been working, so I wouldn't change it up at all.
It's the 1-2 pitch, a fastball fouled back to the screen. We'll do it again at 1-2. And I think 7 pitches, and all 7 of them have been fastballs so far. It's the 1-2 pitch, another fastball swung on and missed, and that's the ball game. Yosvan comes in, gets the final 2 on strikes as he sets down Jacobo and Keys. Cougars with 13 strikeouts, 14 strikeouts in the ball game as they pick up the win. 6 runs, 9 hits, and an error for College of the Canyons. West LA 5 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors for the Wildcats. Cougars take it 6-5. They improve to 12-13 on the season, and 6-4 in conference play. For West LA, they fall to 2-8 in conference play and 5-19 on the year. As the Cougars pick up the win 6-5 with 3 runs in the 9th. The game-winning hit from Steven Gonzalez in the 9th, his 3rd hit of the ball game. Matt, final thoughts from you?
Yeah, College of the Canyons missed some opportunities early, but they eked this one out, a nice conference win, and now they'll have 2 more against West LA this week and an opportunity to keep rising in the conference standings.
They pick up the win 6-5. We thank you for joining us here on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll see you again on Saturday here from Cougar Field as the rubber match between these 2 teams scheduled for 1 p.m. an early start time for that one. Make sure you join us. For Matt Frieda, I'm Matt Robinson. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you on Saturday here from Cougar Field.